so I can do those things.
Hey,
I forgot alicorn. Oh,
welcome to the stream.
Don't worry about it.
Everything's okay. Trust me. Nothing's
I am
gonna
not
go
trusting
wrong.
you.
Drink the scotch, bro.
Did they get rid of those fucking?
We can drink some natty ice and listen to
No,
Dave
they've changed it. Oh god, no. Don't do that. They've changed it up some in the second reprinting.
I'm just trying to figure out. Is it okay? I see a feat that seems to be kind of what I'm looking for, which is the mixed blood feat, which is where you gain a subtype.
Yes, they've changed it from being a trait to a feat.
Okay. But you gain all of the benefits of having that subtype.
Benefits and downfalls?
Yes. Like, for my character, it would be +2 bonus on saves against compulsion effects.
Mm.
Oh, I forgot plants don't need to eat.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing.
Well, they photosynthesize, so...
Yeah, it does have the caveat of you have to spend at least 1 hour in daylight.
No, I get that, but like...
Is that 1 hour a day?
Yes, a day.
Man, if you ever have to go to the Underdark.
Then you eat food.
Yeah,
or
then you eat
create
food.
or create light.
But like, even normally, like, plants do require nutrients and water. It's not just light.
Yes,
That's
but
part
those
about-
nutrients and water just come from the soil.
Here's a big question. Do Gorons sleep?
Oh, the race. I don't know.
I don't know why I should check it.
They do not sleep. They do not sleep, but they do not have immunity to sleep.
So, they don't sleep, and if you take that face subtype,
So what it is they don't sleep, but if someone casts the sleep spell on them, it won't work. So technically, Emmett, they don't have Emmett's. If someone sleeps, Emmett doesn't matter. But they still don't sleep like Emmett doesn't.
Welcome to the weird, wacky world.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
You're really using that last one?
Hmm?
What? Who?
Ah, my boyfriend.
I am confused and concerned.
Don't worry about it.
That's Lion's line, not
Yeah,
Don't
yours.
they have
worry
half-
about it.
Hey, look, they have half Rakshasa in this book. I did not know that.
Only have a Rakshasa.
Yeah, just like a half orc.
They have goblin centaurs in it as well.
Goblins and
Making me look
Quadrupedal
for higher
goblins.
resolution versions of these.
Like, doesn't that just sound terrifying?
I didn't know what
Quadrupedal
resolution
goblins. Yes.
I can't
Oh
use
my
that
God.
middle one. It's way too small.
Lion, I just saw a server that I need to have an explanation of in Map Tools.
Oh,
Vampires the Macarena.
that's pretty great. Let's play a quick game of what are some other fun servers. Let me go open a second map tools.
I'm just gonna disconnect and watch. Okay. Let's see. We have 50 Dark Entities. Diemeister.
I'm fairly certain that one has been up for like years, and also is just means the master.
Yes. This is Hank.
D&D and D&D accessories.
Oh, by 12 mercs. Oh god, someone's playing a Dwarf Fortress style game.
Numa Numenera. No gods, only fire.
I like that the Vampire the Macarena one is actually a GURPS game. That makes it even funnier.
My favorite server is just NERPS!
Yep.
Alright, let's actually connect to the proper server.
Oh, Ghost Bees isn't up.
It isn't.
I can't go confuse people.
No, not the ghost bees. Ah.
You
Lion,
say that Ghost Bees are one of the most dangerous monsters to exist in Pathfinder.
It's an actual monster.
Oh no!
It's
Have you
bees
seen
with
the
the ghost
nanites?
template.
Have you seen the clockwork or the is it the yes, the nanite swarm.
I'm aware that that is also horrifying, but
The reason why bees are terrifying logic is in they're a CR2 creature, but they can easily kill a CR or a level appropriate party because they're immune to weapon damage and immune to single target damage.
Bees. It's the oh god, why didn't we hire a wizard monster?
it's a swarm.
You,
Also,
you
it's
could even
CR3.
have a wizard. Or is it CR3?
Yeah, it's here.
Anyway. You can even
Well,
hire a
no,
wizard.
you don't need a
They
wizard. You just need a negative energy cleric or anyone.
You
who will
need
AoE.
anything with AoE.
Or
Oh,
a
and they
ton
also-
of Christmas flasks.
Oh, and they also happen to have a poison that deals
Uh,
dex damage.
Jesus Christ.
Are we talking about wasps?
Yes. And then when they become incorporeal, they can just sting your brain.
That one, that one still doesn't work, honey. I need more background of it.
Clockwork
makes sense.
swarm.
Oh,
Or else
Lion.
it doesn't fit into the circle.
The clockwork swarm has fast healing.
That doesn't surprise me.
Thankfully, acid, cold, or fire damage cannot be self-repaired.
Man, I cannot wait. See
Guess
if-
what book it's from?
Which?
What?
The Tome.
Oh, Numenera. Oh, it's from Tome of Foes? Or,
Tome of Horrors.
yeah.
The book that shouldn't exist.
Listen, just because the people that made it also made Rap and Athic doesn't mean the book deserves a bad rap.
It deserves a bad rap for other reasons.
There are plenty of fun and interesting monsters in there.
And then there's the elementals.
You don't like the positive and negative energy elementals?
Yes, I don't like those. I don't like time elementals. I don't like gravity elementals. And I especially don't like ghoul sturges.
Hey, you know, if I went with spell crafting and I took Conjuration Sphere, could I create a negative energy elemental?
No. I already asked Lion banned all of the Tome of Horrors elementals.
Well, there goes the
Or no,
there goes
Lion
the half
said
of the light elemental that I was gonna try and make. Possibly.
Lion was like, all right, if you have light elementals, I have light elementals. And then I noped the fuck out of light elementals as fast as can do. Ow. Are you
I'll be right
okay?
I'll be right back.
Did you just stab yourself?
No, maybe. I'll be right back.
God damn it, logic. Yeah,
Well, at least it wasn't dinner this time.
It's
Yeah.
true.
It was right at 7 o'clock, though.
you team killing fucktard.
Oh my god, I shot church. I'm the team killing fucktard.
So we are going to the ruins of Ansgrace, right?
yes.
Yep.
And we talked to the druid beforehand. So we're going to Deer and then going to the ruins, right?
We're going to
Going
seek
on
out
a trip.
deer. There's no guarantee that anything substantial will come from that, but hopefully. Also, I need to turn on the light.
trip in a favorite rocket ship.
All right.
Tyler, I hate that you were singing that because in my brain it plays the washed out, distorted Vine version that everyone uses of that stupid song.
So, Lion, I have a quick question.
Yes.
How exactly are the Kuru cannibals? Are they like religious cannibals, straight up cannibals? Like, what flavor of cannibalism do they have?
What flavor?
I would imagine human.
Yeah.
Technically,
Funnily
it's
enough,
cannibalism to be a goblin. for a human to eat a goblin. In Pathfinder, it's cannibalism.
Which I was going to point out that, funnily enough, if they were eating humans, it would not technically be cannibalism. It is religious and cultural, and basically they don't go out of their way to kill people, but they'll totally eat a person if they have to.
Okay. So, if you were to say no eating people without just and provable cause would be a functional law for them?
I will be right back.
More or less, yes.
Okay, good. Shit, there was something else I had bouncing around in my brain sphere.
Brain Sphere is my second favorite replacement for Beholders to get around
Alright.
copyright infringement.
We're good.
You good? You bleeding anywhere?
A little bit, but I'm fine.
God damn it, Logic.
drop
Look,
a
my
cop-
box cutter was on the floor. I went to pick it up to get it off the floor. I did not realize that it was open.
Why was
Logic.
your box cutter open?
Logic,
It's not
how do
supposed
you-
to be.
How do you work in freight?
Because I don't drop my box cutter. And at home, I drop my box cutter.
Don't
Yeah,
do
And I did
that.
not realize that when my box cutter dropped, it became open.
What the hell is the psychic sensitivity feat?
Oh, it gives you psychic skill unlocks.
So
Ooh.
I've got to put my knife back in.
Apparently, Gorons get that by default now.
What now?
Huh.
You can trade away all knowledge skills as class skills for.
Oh,
psychic
oh, oh.
sensitivity.
I thought you were just like, it's just they've changed the race so that they all have that. And I'm like,
Did you waste a feat for it?
no. No, I was just really confused as to when that would have happened.
Okay, the knife is back in, and now I am closing the entire.
Alright, we'll
last
start
one.
around 7:05 or 7:10.
Depending on when Tyler gets back.
God damn it.
So Lion, really funny thing.
Hmm.
If I were to play a Goron, would my character just be immortal?
Can't
Sort of.
see. You don't need to eat.
If you're talking about the gestation thing, they can still kill you the gestation pod.
Yeah, but if I were to like, learn how to plant it in the Feywilds,
It would be
very
more or less immortal, yes.
Also, awkwardly hard to get back after they die.
I have all of the magical abilities that I previously had, so if I was able to get back, if I was able to go to the Feywilds to plant it, then
Yeah. You get everything. You're
Fair
basically
enough.
your character is basically just resurrected with no penalty.
one negative level.
Oh, one negative level, but that could be easily cured with a.
But, however, so you plant a seed, right? And then
Mhm.
2d6 days later, it is born into a Goron. Except, as soon as it's born, the other one starts rapidly dying.
So you have to choose this. You have to be careful when you actually plant it.
Yes.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
And you have to make sure your gear is in
Safe place.
it. Yeah.
No, you.
Phil, I just sent you a thing, and
Man, that
you'll love it.
doesn't sound like. That sounds like a bullshit character.
I mean, you can trade the seed away, and if Lion were to tell me to, I would.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so. Is everyone ready?
Yarr.
Is everyone here?
I'm ready.
I'm made
What
of
was that
broken
about?
hair, I regret nothing.
What happened while I was gone?
That.
It's been 10 years, and you were gone for 10 years.
Alright. Well, whilst the rest of the party handles that, when last we met, our heroes were in the midst of taking care of business around Oakhurst. There's all sorts of things. You know, they had to clean up the keep. They had to get rid of all the previous posters that were hung up on the walls. You know, those sorts of things. And they decided that it would be time to go explore the mines below Oakhurst. And in that exploration, they came across many interesting things, from abjurative crystals to giant ogre spiders, which are not to be confused with giant enemy crabs. Those are entirely different. As well, they found some demons waiting down below. And boy, oh boy, did those demons... Wow. They wanted to do things. They wanted to rip the party asunder and leave them for dead. Unfortunately, the party saw otherwise, and were able to slay and banish the demons for 100 years and a day from the mortal plane.
100 years in a day?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, those demons can't willingly come back to the mortal coil for another 100 years and a day.
Man, that's impressively a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, we fucked them over hard.
That said, they can be summoned back by other people, but they can't willingly come back themselves for that length of time.
I think Nihilus could still be around by the time we're back, but...
Few of you could be. But you managed to finish up down in the mines and decided to leave the purple crystal prison well enough alone, and headed back up to begin preparing for your next venture when you discovered, unfortunately, that a large host of orcs, much larger than you thought before, was making its way towards Oakhurst. And so, you have all made plans and have begun preparations for Orkmageddon. And today is July 28th, the last day of July. You are getting ready to begin your next outing as a group, which is to head towards the city, or the ruined village, of Onskreis. So, but before that matter, there are a few people that wish to do one or two minor things before heading out. So, to answer that question I just received, yes. Who all wants to go meet this dragon slayer?
Sin.
I mean, sure. why not?
Borsteg.
I mean, I don't think Demarius has a choice.
Emmett is honestly too busy to do that, being the guard captain.
Yep.
Nihilus does not really care. He'll go just to see who it is.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, you can head to the tavern, the Oakhurst Keep map. There is no real indication which of those buildings is the tavern, so one of them is just going to become the tavern, because it's not a to-scale map. The tavern and inn is much like many other taverns and inns. It's got a second story where all of the inns are and stuff is. It's got a fun, tavern first floor. People are in the midst of making and eating breakfast. And two elves, a male and a female, sit at a table, both quietly sipping tea. Nope, there's not 120 of you. There's not 216 of you.
Where are they?
They're on character storage in the context section. The woman is the taller of the two elves. She is wearing scale mail and has a quiver at her or on her back that currently has a few arrows in it, but there's no sign of a bow. The male has a bow at his side, but no arrow or quivers, and is a few assorted weapons at his side, from a carving knife all the way up to a short sword.
I can't actually see them yet because going back to character storage made me load more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's on a black screen of
Yeah,
waiting for images to
me
finish
too.
loading.
I went to the Oakhurst Keep map and then went to character storage, and now I'm just loading.
So we're all walking in.
Yes.
Uh, well,
No.
do either of them look familiar?
They don't look familiar, but you do sense that something about them should be familiar.
Without really saying a word, Sin's going to go over and sit at their table.
The two of them look up from their tea, setting it down, noticing Gorstag. They do not appear to be noble, at least not a noble that you would ever have interacted with or of any sort.
Noted.
Okay. I just saw the mouse's name. God damn it. But as they look up, they pause for a moment before the man will say, "Excuse me, miss, can we help you?"
Sin keeps staring for a little bit, eyeing both of them up and down, and then says, "Do I know you?"
Numerius at this be approaching, though not in a particular rush.
Nias will probably be following Numerius. I imagine they're out there.
Gorstag will basically just stand behind Sin.
The woman will turn her gaze on you. There's something a bit ethereal feeling about her, but she'll say, "I don't recall ever having interacted with any of your..." She trails off for a moment. "With most of your band." She will look to Numerius, though he looks like someone I've met once before. The male will nod. Say, "Yes, he looks like someone I've met a few years ago."
Have either of you ever been
Does,
to... Oh, what?
does Numerius also get the feeling?
He kind of does. However, you can roll me a wisdom check or an intelligence.
So a d20. Got it. Yeah, it's not bad.
While there is a sense of familiarity, of thinking you should know this individual, there's something else. It's a faint, foggy memory from a time you have tried your best to forget about. Perhaps it's just a misfiring synapse. Also, Gorstag, you feel a strange sense of familiarity looking at the male elf as well, but you're not quite sure why either.
Numerius will respond with, "I'm sorry, I do not get the same feeling."
Is there anything I would roll to try and recall?
You could do a wisdom or intelligence check.
Perfect.
So also a d20?
Yep.
Heh.
I rolled a 15.
You aren't quite sure exactly why you're recalling this feeling. However, what you do recall is that back during one of your times in one of the camps, there was rumors of a pair of elves that did attack another slave camp and free some of the slaves. Perhaps these are those folk. They seem like they might be.
Gorstag looks at them and he's gonna look for a brand on them.
The male,
Out anywhere?
the male has half of a brand on the back of his hand.
Does it look like the one Gorstag has?
Yes, however, it definitely does not look like one given to a slave. It looks like it might have been one that someone defending themselves with a branding iron might have given in combat.
Gorstag looks at him and he goes, Gorstag have one question.
The elf will say, "Yes, what is that?"
Were you guard or slave?
He chuckles a little disheartenedly. Neither. I was attempting to. Well, he pauses and stops. It's been a little while, but I was attempting to single-handedly raid one of the camps. And they managed to get the better of me. And he will, roll up his sleeve a little, showing that there are a few more, basically, weapon marks from the branding iron.
Gorstag will just nod and say, took more than one for me to escape.
He nods. I'm glad to hear that many have escaped. Or at least some have escaped.
Meanwhile,
Are you working to free more?
We have other things we are currently working on, but we might be soon enough. I believe I heard meanwhile Sin is.
still staring at them.
The woman will notice this and will say, "What exactly do you think we've met before?"
Not really having an answer to that, she asks, have either of you ever been to Terencia?
Well, it's certainly near where we both came from. But I
Ever
can't
been in
say-
a gangbang?
I can't say we've ever been to Terencia itself. Don't even remember when that got its name. The man will say, "I think it was more recently than anything else, though. Things are complicated here. Seems like every century towns are changing their name."
I can't really explain it, but I feel like I should. She rubs her face with her hands. I feel like I should know you.
Well, I'm not quite sure why that would be, but the man is speaking. But if it comes back to you at any moment, I'm sure it would be something. He pauses for a moment. Though actually, now that you mention it, I was in Terencia about 2 decades ago, I believe.
She quirks her brow a bit. exactly 2 decades ago?
He considers. I don't remember how. Sorry.
Dad?
He'll say it. Or he'll say, sorry, the years sort of blend together the way that I'm sure days do for yourselves. It was no more than 2 decades ago. I can't give you a precise date, though I do remember. He stops for a moment. I remember a few things from it. My darling Ayame was not with me. She was tending to another matter.
Hmm.
But
What was his name?
What was her name?
I'm kidding. Gorsteg does not say that.
let's see. Yes, well, I'm sure it's no matter, just a mere coincidence.
Most likely. I was either not born or barely born at the time.
Sin can give me a sense motive roll if she would like, as can everyone else that's there.
Alright. I don't think I'm beating that, but...
Emmett can give me a sense motive roll if he would like too, just because. But
Oh, Gorstag!
You know, everyone did fairly well.
Emmett did well, but he's not here, so it doesn't really count!
Emmett
All
helping
motives are sensed.
Emmett, while he's Alf on the town wall training how to fire ballistas, is just like, something's wrong, but I don't know what. But meanwhile, back
Both
at
of
the
them are elves, but she is human, which means, dear, you bad, bad man.
he, after that comment of just barely born, has a moment of pause that hadn't been there in the conversations.
Oh my god, man.
And he'll say, well, I'm sure, as I said, it was a coincidence. It's been quite many years since I was out there.
But something definitely stops him up for a second.
Yes.
Right. Well, if you think of anything, my name's Synthenis. I'm
You're
sure
not
it'll
even-
be easy enough to find.
You're not even gonna drop the last name.
Oh, I can tell you that I can tell you that their last name is not Volendale.
Ah.
And in fact, it's something very LV. I
Okay,
think
so he's
it's I think it's Leaf Dancer.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're going with Leaf Dancer.
Leaf Dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Leaf Dancer, the coming festival's coming up. Hope your Leaf Dancer.
But say yes, we will be sure to inform you of anything we think of. And the woman will say, "Oh, and I would like to apologize for that business." And she looks at Numerius. You were not the person we were actually looking for, so doesn't seem like it will matter much, since my previous employers were so unkind enough to skip town. Though I think in a few weeks, Deer and I might go visit an old haunt of ours.
Are you not then dragon slayers?
There's a moment of a glance exchanged between the two, and then a chuckle from both before the woman says, "We have slain a dragon or two before in our times. However, the
Gorstag
titles-
once rode dragon.
That's impressive. The title is merely one that people use to justify giving us exorbitant sums of money to solve their problems. In truth, we are just travelers. But we are looking for someone.
I don't suppose that you'll indulge me with any further information. I may be able to assist you after all.
The woman chuckles, and she will look to the man, and the man will pull out a small pouch and pull out a dull fist-sized gem that's about, a cloudy, murky gray, we'll say. Well, you wouldn't happen to know who used to own this, would you? And he tosses it towards you.
Damn.
Numerius will catch it and look it over.
Okay. As you catch it, you do see inside of it a faint glow of light. Nihilus, it is worth a pretty penny just for the size and quality cut of the gem. Gorstag, you're not quite sure. It looks like it might have been some sort of like noble piece or something, but you
Okay.
don't have any exacts to that.
Would knowledge religion help?
It could.
For what it's worth,
I'm
I
not
also
even gonna
have that.
bother.
Uh,
Is that glow only available to Numerius?
no, everyone else can see it. As for the religion, you're not sure. It looks. Sorry, it looks like it would be part of some sort of religious piece, like a larger piece with the way it's cut and shaped and all of that. But you are not familiar with anything like this. However, with that spellcraft, it is. Oh, hold on. Sorry, it is. I lost my train of thought. It is reacting to Numerius in some regard.
Magically?
More than likely. It would be odd if it, because, the elf deer did handle it with his hand. It would be weird if it started reacting in a non-magical way to Numerius holding it up.
Numerius, can I see that real quick?
Numerius will look it over for a few more seconds. I assume he doesn't find anything that gives him a clue.
No, he does not.
He will hand it over to Nihilus and say, "I'm sorry, I'm very unfamiliar with this."
That's alright. I grab it. Does it light up when I hold it?
As soon as Numerius's hands are off of it, and your hands are the only contact on it, no, the light dims and goes out.
Well, I can probably surmise that whoever owns this gem is probably related to you somehow, Numerius, because it only glows when you're using it, or holding it. There's magic inside of it, but I can't tell what kind of magic that's reacting to you.
Numerius will turn to the two elves and raise an eyebrow, saying nothing, but his expression says that he wants a bit of more information.
Can Sin hold it too?
Sure.
She wants
I'll
to see
head
it.
over to Sin.
There is also not a glow from Sin holding it.
Why not put it on your stuff?
God damn it, there is technically a very faint and tiny glow.
Can Gorstag hold it?
Sure.
Gorstag holds it.
Yeah,
There
I
is
had to say
not
something.
There is not a light from Gorstag holding it.
Gorstig no get light.
Goddamn pulling some Battle of Gods level bullshit. Pan's pregnant, uses that as a fifth Saiyan.
Hey, that's why I mentioned it.
Gorstag looks through the gem to see if there's any stuff in it.
No, there is not. Unfortunately.
Gorstag hands it back.
Alright, now I'm confused. It light up for Numeri is a sin, but not for any of us.
The elves. Go ahead.
Numerius will just say, "There's possibly an explanation for that."
The elves, after a moment, will say, well, this is most peculiar. We need a bit of time to confer and discuss matters, but once we have, we would be a bit more willing to provide some insight into what might be going on.
Good,
I'm
because
sure-
Gorstig confused.
It's magic. It's supposed to be confusing.
But I'm
What?
sure the
Nihilus doesn't say anything more. He just says it's magic. It's supposed to be confusing.
Gorstig just goes, what?
the elves will say, we will pass on information when we have a chance, though I'm sure the group of you have important things to do.
Yes. The former Marquis left the town in quite a state of disrepair. We are tending to issues.
Okay. It is at this moment you do hear some shouting and screaming outside in the city.
Oh, fuck's sakes, not.
Or did I just get pinged? Oh.
Oh, god damn it, not again. The last time we exited a tavern and there was screaming, it was a bunch of fucking zombies.
Numerius sighs, draws his blade, and heads towards the door.
Sin stares at them for a little while longer, and then says, "Have a good day." She'll stand up and follow the rest of the party out.
As you're all stepping outside, to your relief, there are not zombies, and the shouting and screaming seem to be coming from the wall where the individuals are training to use the ballistas. It seems there might have been a mishap with one of the test fires.
Amarius, your soldiers are fucking idiots.
You hear from the walls. I heard that.
I'm glad!
Hello, Glad, I am Gorstag.
Numerius pinches the brow of his nose, shakes his head and sighs. He then turns to Nihilus and says, "Most of them are not very well trained. They're militia. In case something goes wrong, we have at least some level of skill. They're by no means soldiers."
Emmett will walk down the stairs towards you guys. It's like, what do you expect trying to teach a bunch of potato farmers how to fire complicated siege machinery?
I don't know, how about make it so that people don't just start screaming?
Ignore him. I'm sure you're doing better than most could.
Anyway, you guys done with your meeting? You ready to go kill some ghosts or some shit?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh shit.
She
In
seems a
all honest-
little bit shaken, but she
In
seems
all
okay.
honesty, I don't know if I'll ever be ready to return, but I do not wish to delay us.
Onwards to ghost fuckery.
All right. I gotta go to the
wait,
south.
one
now.
second. Gorsteg gets a small barrel and just dips his axe in a small barrel of blood as they travel.
Snack for the road.
Yep. And
you
he'll
having-
have a beer for himself.
Wouldn't that be a 2-day ride to Ansgrace?
That was what I was about to ask. Are you going to cut straight through the wilderness to Anskrace, or are you going to go road and then cut?
I'd rather cut straight through the wilderness.
Which one would be faster?
Let me figure it
Wilderness?
out.
Because we get to travel faster on the road than through the forest with horses.
So unless you're really splitting hairs, hold on.
No.
Technically, it is more distance to go road and then cut through. However, it will roughly be the same amount of time because the full trek there is all in wilderness, and you don't move as fast in wilderness.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if we used horses on the road, would we have gone faster than just going through the forest?
Yes, it'll be about a day and a half then.
It'll be faster if we go by horse on the road, then go to Amscaras. By at least half a day.
All right. Emmett goes, all right, wait. Does that mean I have to ride a horse?
Yes.
Emmett will then go and start trying to requisition a cart.
Gorsteg likes this idea, so he can bring more barrels of blood. I mean, booze.
Because
I mean, I may need a barrel of blood for downtime sakes.
Emmett actually cannot ride horses. They will try to buck him the instant he gets on one.
Don't worry,
For
we'll
what
just
it's worth.
tie you down.
For what it's worth, Numerius would say, you know, we don't have to rely entirely on horses if there's going to be an issue.
I mean, Emmett's just gonna get a cart.
Fair enough.
We have like a ton of those. We are a city. Also, a cart helps to bring potential resources back with us.
True. Though I believe the plan was to head from Anscrease further into the wilderness, and a cart does not do good in the wilderness.
Well, you could have a small contingent of, say, 3 guards or something accompany you so that they can guide the cart back while you trek through the wilderness.
I mean, if we think about this in a meta sense, we know those guards are gonna fucking die.
I
No.
don't know that.
What happens when you leave troops by themselves?
Emmett will pick his 3 most trained guards to do it, because why not?
We've done it before,
Ah.
and in a meta sense, they definitely did not die and succeeded on their mission of defending their
Right.
stuff.
I'm
There's no
I'm thinking
precedence.
of another game.
So let's get Emmett will pick his 3 his 3 least mediocre guards.
Ah, the Stooge God, a fine order.
And Gorsteg will load the cart up with blood and beer.
Mo, Larry, and I forget the third.
No, Larry, and
Steve?
the other one.
Yeah,
Curly.
Curly. That's
Yeah.
it.
The joke is I knew it wasn't Steve. Just everything is named Steve.
I wanted to say Shirley, but I knew that was wrong.
All right. So we
Well,
shall
there was
head out.
also Shem, but
Shem, right?
Well, there is a further question that needs to be asked. If
Oh.
we're taking the cart to Anscrease and then sending it back, what happens with Emmett and transportation?
We will be going through the wilderness in most cases at that point. So
Yeah, at that point,
Okay.
going through the
In that
wilderness,
point,
you'll
the
have to
whole
look at-
forest will just be converging on us anyway.
Fair enough.
The monkeys throwing their shit at Emmett, the birds attacking Emmett.
and Emmett will bring his standard pack of various camping supplies.
Okay.
I'm not going to write them all down, but just assume it's enough to live comfortably for like 3 weeks on camp.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Let me finish pasting your tokens onto this map. And it will be August 2nd, the day in which you guys make it to Anskreis.
I'm assuming no particular evils on the road.
Nope. You remain unaccosted.
3 more days. 7 more days. Monster Hunter comes out.
I mean, the thing is it doesn't come out. It's just a way of life in this world.
Yeah.
You know that's accurate.
Does that mean that at the end of August the world gets an overhaul?
Does that mean on August 9th, fucking, oh my god, what is the name of the half-giant dude?
Hercules.
No, the other one.
Steve.
Thor.
The one that was in Throws.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
him.
Yeah, him.
You just like kick down the door to every building simultaneously.
You're getting a little quiet.
Is it better now?
Much.
Yeah.
Alright. So, as you approach,
perhaps.
as you approach the city, from about an hour's away, you can start to notice that you are approaching it. As apparently, even a century later, whatever destroyed this city and or burnt it to the ground has prevented any of the trees and wildlife and plants from regrowing. It is a burnt, barren wasteland. The corpses of destroyed trees line your way.
Load. I need to cast something.
Hold on. What do you need to cast? I can do it for you.
I
Hangman.
want to cast just the Hangman because I don't have the duel yet. I don't have the duel one yet.
Okay.
And I was gonna have
I
it
have cast
be...
it.
Okay.
I've cast it on your token.
Is Lily coming with us?
I mean, do you want to leave her in the town where the butcher may or may not
I
be?
would suggest she comes with us, one, for that, and the other reason for none of us have the capability to at all detect magic. And we are
Yeah.
going to a place that's haunted.
Yeah, my
Yes.
tech magic gone.
So Lily,
Alright, I will-
she's coming with us.
Load the fucking map!
I'm assuming Lily has that prerequisite 1 in divinity or divination.
Yes, she
Come
does.
on.
She does now as you type alt tab and type it in.
There's no alt tabbing. There's simply opening Notepad++.
13 out of 14, come the fuck on.
Oh my god, I trolled you because I pasted Lily's token on.
Motherfucker! I'm stuck in loading limbo right now.
Yep,
I can't
same
see
here.
on screens.
God damn it, Lion.
Hey, Lion, can you
fucking
post
massive
my
map.
boar stag?
Once everyone's loaded, yes.
Oh my god.
I want to have him search for truffle.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do something because this is just not loading.
Is this to scale?
Yes.
Where is my map tool launcher? I'm just going to increase shit again.
Alright, I'm loaded in.
Sophie, why is that so correct?
That's Axel.
Was that Axel that posted that? I don't even know anymore. Axel, yes, that is correct.
Do that. 16. Alright.
Are you about to give Maptool 16 gigs of RAM?
Fuck yes, let's go! As well as it's set 746 or 744, whatever I fucking put it at. It's higher.
But
I'm so sick of spending like forever load. Now it's 14 out of 15. What the fuck?
For what it's worth, at some point soon after the village comes into view, Numerius will just stop and stay there for a few moments before composing himself.
Has the map loaded for other people?
yes.
It's loaded for me.
Yep.
No, you guys are fucking lucky. I'm still stuck at 14 out of 15.
Get good.
I have a better internet than you!
Yes, but you know what the downside is right now? My upload speed. Deal with it, nerd.
Oh.
Also, you know,
Go eat a
get
dick,
good.
eat a dick.
So I can load every other map, but Anscrease is just not loading.
Just be patient.
I'm just gonna have to go to Sophie's stream. So I can at least see what the hell's going on.
Yes, this map is to scale.
On
As
the plus side, I now have a kitten on my lap.
as you approach the city, you can see the numerous run-down and worn-out buildings that are actually half-burnt piles of rubble and debris. Numerous scorch marks throughout. Two large buildings that dominate the northwestern side and the southern side of the town, as well as the trees that serve as a barrier, burnt and cinders. As you are approaching, you reach right about where you are right now. Logic, have you finished loading the
No,
map? Okay.
this is. Oh, wait. Now I'm loaded.
Eric,
Yes.
is out of curiosity, knowledge nature as to whether or not this lack of regrowth is due to just how burnt everything got, it was a natural way of it happening, or if this was magical meant to do it.
So, it is actually a combination of the two. With, as you're looking around, there are some melted stones here in the buildings.
Ooh.
And as you're looking at it, so a fire this hot would keep this place, dead and decayed for 60, 70 years. But if it's been
Yeah.
longer than that, which, judging by what you all were informed of, it has been longer than that, something is keeping this place from regrowing.
Would a knowledge religion check help?
Oh wait, I don't have detect magic. Never mind.
Yeah, knowledge religion could help.
Yeah, I'll help with that.
Okay.
That's a natural one on my part.
Yeah, but luckily we're not playing 2E, so you don't crit fail.
So as you're thinking about it, and you recall some of the stories about this area, there are apparently particularly malicious things. Not quite creatures, not quite spirits, but things that are said to reside in this area that more than likely are keeping it in this permanently burnt state.
Emmett afterwards will make a survival check to see if he can see any trace of life. Really,
Okay.
are we? As he's just like wandering around this general area.
Yep, you can go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Do you
My
need help?
God, really? Sure, why not?
There's not so much as signs of animal footprints, but there is something emerging from the ground. Appear to be three interesting humanoid figures. Let me get them positioned correctly, and I'm going to change token to token layer.
Oh yay!
The creatures emerge from the ground, their mouths moving, but no sounds emitting from them. As they do, they are burnt, cindery husks of humans. Their mouths moving and no sound coming from them.
I'm at 20 on this of all things. Okay.
Sin is going to immediately draw her lucerne hammer.
Nihilus is drawing his bastard sword with both his hands, but he's doing a quick read on this thing.
As you all begin to enter your defensive postures, considering what these things might be, these appear to be perhaps spiritual vagrants, things that cannot move on but cannot themselves become ghosts or other forms of undead that can right the wrongs befallen them in life.
Shadows.
No, even a shadow could.
Really?
These
Okay.
are less powerful than even them. These are simply ectoplasmic whispers longing for a chance to fix what has kept them bound to this life still.
Is that what I get from the knowledge?
Yes.
Do they have any semblance of sentience?
After a moment, they step forward over here, and one of them points a hand out towards the group of you, and a echo of a sound can be heard in your mind. You who have come to this burnt place shall know naught but suffering until the curse is laid to rest.
What language?
Whatever language your character thinks in.
Huh, okay.
What if my character doesn't think?
Then it's in pretty pictures.
Okay, Gorsteg understands then.
All right.
How do we
Chicken.
break it?
The hand moves and points towards Synthenis, and the voice echoes again in everyone's head. The curse can be broken simply by breaking it.
Gee, that's helpful.
Gorsteg good at breaking things. Let us go find.
Is there a type of check I can do to figure out about curses and what might be the closest thing to this?
You can do another religion check.
Assist.
Wow, Nihilus, you're doing pretty well for a man with shit intelligence.
So, Sen's fact actually fails. She cannot assist you.
That doesn't.
Can't?
Because if I remember correctly, Another actually has the Nat 1 clause.
I don't believe so.
Unless I'm getting...
I don't know.
I
If
think
it
on
has,
Temporals it
Lion's
does.
never enforced it or remembered it.
Aid another on skills you can't take 10 on. Axel, to answer that question, intelligence or wisdom, so just a d20 roll. It's not a particularly high DC.
I might be wrong. My 5th ed knowledge might be bleeding
Mixing in, yeah. That happens when you play different types of systems. Some knowledge starts blending together.
Yeah, it's just if you roll a 10 or higher on the check. Alright.
Not bad yet. We'll just stick to the endless pathway
Alright.
like we have for every fucking session.
So, as you are contemplating these matters, it is likely that some manifestation of whatever has laid this curse might exist in this town that you could slay and put the curse to rest.
Are there any curses that come to mind that work like this?
Well, with a curse on this large of a scale, it likely is something spontaneously created by the psychic suffering that so many creatures or so many people here at the same time suffered. So it's probably going to be a powerful echo of whatever created the curse here.
And how does one go about getting rid of such a curse again?
By defeating a manifestation of it, because a curse on this large of scale likely can't be solved without basically nuking the area with dispel magic from orbit.
So, is the thing in front of us the manifestation, or no?
No, these are they're
Byproducts.
yes, they're
Okay.
vagrants. They're
For lack of a better term, they were innocent bystanders.
yeah, they're yellow or they're orange soapstone messages.
All right. Well,
I'm not kidding. That's basically what they are.
if we want to end this curse, from my knowledge,
Gorstig wants
we
to
would.
wander over to the lake.
Oh god. If I remember correctly, from my knowledge, of
Where's he
curses,
wandering over?
To the water here.
Before he gets very far, Sin's going to grab his arm and say, "No, stick together."
Gorstig wants to look at water.
But we don't know what's out there.
Are most of the buildings still up, or are they completely burnt and we're just looking at the foundation?
It's foundations and, maybe the odd 6 or 7 foot tall segment of stone walls or like burnt pillars that are still up.
Okay, but for the most part, it's pretty level.
Pretty
Like-
much, yes.
If I'm standing here, could I see over to here pretty easily?
well, there's a
Yeah,
cat.
there's
There might be
There-
a wall or two, kind of like one there or one there kind of thing, but nothing like there's a
Mhm.
wall here, there's a wall here, there's a wall here, there's a wall here, there's a wall here,
Yeah.
there's a wall. Okay.
Yeah, no, the buildings are there just to represent the basic foundations that are still standing, and there are occasional walls.
Okay.
Would it be possible to make a... Sorry.
I was just finally going to say the information that I have, which is if we want to end this curse, we have to find its projection. I don't know where that might be or what it will be, but we have to find that out.
I have a few ideas of what it could be. Neither of them good.
Can Emmett make a geography check to try to identify particularly important buildings?
Well, none of you will even have to make checks, and I can start off by saying the 2 buildings that are still intact.
Yep.
What were they?
Uh,
Let's try that.
Well,
Marius could probably tell you easily.
yes. The southern one was your childhood home, Numerius. The northern one was the home of a mage by the name of Matthias.
It's this one and this one, right?
No, this one and this one.
Oh, I didn't even register those were buildings.
No, they're buildings.
Which ones? Alright.
If I had to take a guess, either what we're looking for is any buildings.
You're very quiet.
Right, I moved it away. Whatever we're looking for is probably either within those buildings, or they'll give us a hint to what we're looking for.
Well, on the way, Gorstek would like to check out the water.
Knowledge religion for water spirits or water undead?
Sure.
God damn, I'm rolling pretty damn well today.
There are a few. Most of them would make their presence known before you get in there, unless it's a particularly malevolent one that seeks to drown others like it may have drowned itself. However, the pool of water does not appear to be... I don't want to say deep enough because you can drown in half an inch of water, but it doesn't seem deep enough to house such a spirit.
Deep
Okay.
enough for something to be like hiding in it.
Yes.
I will at least let Gorstak know that the water should be fine. There's nothing going to be in there. At least no undead or spirit.
Is he going anyway?
Yeah.
Gorstig looks at the water.
Lily will
Lily.
go also as well to make sure that nothing happens to him.
Oh, right. We have to go to make sure nothing happens to her.
Emmett will just be kind of standing because you guys are all staring at the water. He'll just
I'm
be
not
standing.
staring at the water. Lily just can't do shit to save her life.
He'll have an arrow notched, and he will specifically just be making perception checks, looking for cellars, places
Alright.
where things could be hiding that he is not directly seeing.
All right. Gorstag, as you do peer into the water, there are several things of note. There are a few skeletons at the bottom of the water.
Hmm.
Most of them show heavy signs of burn damage to even the skeletal structure. As well, there are a few glints below the water. The water appears to, at its deepest, which is right around in here, be maybe 2.5, 3 feet deep.
So just enough for Sen to drown.
To drown
Yeah,
us,
actually-
we're half.
Gorseg's gonna focus on the glints and try and see him better.
Enhance.
Looking amongst them, there are a few copper coins that seem to be glinting. Impressive that they have not rusted with age or turned that comical green. However, one amongst them does appear to be an age-worn dagger of some sort.
Gorseg, be right back.
Alright.
He
Okay.
sees something might be fun. So he'll trudge out into the water wherever he saw that, with no real care about getting wet.
Let
While Gorseg's doing that, can I roll
Pick up the dagger and look at it.
Okay.
Can I roll perception and see if there's like any bodies or bones or anything around?
Sure.
Alright.
Uh,
Nope.
They're at the bottom of the lake.
Gorstag, as you look it up, there does appear to be a name engraved on the hilt, as well as a few words in a language that I'm not sure anyone in the party speaks.
Oh,
What
bring it back.
language?
It's infernal, abyssal.
Give me 1 second.
Um,
It is neither of those two.
Hold on while I pull up the long list of languages that this character speaks.
You said it's neither of those two?
Yep.
It's probably Sylvan then.
It's Reed, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Hold
Or
on.
Aquan.
I
Aquan or
can
Sylvan.
I can expedite this process. Does anyone read Celestial?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
he funnily knows.
I am an Azamar.
Gorstag, it does appear to be
Oh, no
some
wonder
sort
I
of
hate
fancy ancient angely script. I assume you're going to bring it back to show to the party.
Gorseg's gonna put it on his belt for now, and then just go around picking up all the other shiny things he can find,
Okay.
making a lot of splashes while he does.
Emmett's gonna walk up. You do realize you are robbing dead civilians.
And they're dead. They won't need it.
Emmett goes back to his guard training. How illegal is what he's doing right now?
What Gorstag is doing, or
Yes.
It's nebulously amoral because they probably threw them in here like a wishing well. Also, it's copper coins, and there's like 10
Okay,
of
it's just copper coins. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not a big enough deal. Okay.
no. It's
No one's
like
come
10
back to this place for fucking years, man.
I
don't
look at
understand.
Nihilus. You do realize we're here to make this place safe for people to immediately come back to, right?
Yeah, but all the people that are dead here don't need the shit they left.
But that
After
doesn't mean it
picking
won't
up all
anger.
the stuff he can find, he comes back.
But that doesn't mean it won't anger the spirits that are still here.
I mean, once we get the cure curse fixed, it won't really be a matter of an issue.
Shakes
maybe
all the
it'll
water off.
Or maybe it will stonewall our progress.
I don't know what will happen if, say, new people come here and move that shit anyway, and the spirits
Who
come
read
back.
lots of language?
Emmet raises his hand.
Gorstag pulls the knife up from his belt. What these say?
Emmet will ask you to hand it to him so he can actually read it properly.
What, you don't have
Gorstag
good eyes as an archer?
hands it to him.
What does it say?
All right, looking at it, it seems to be some old versions of Celestial. It appears to just be a ward of, or a ward with air quotes of protection for whoever wields the dagger. And there's a name on the blade, or on the hilt of the blade, that says Matthias.
I look at Gorsak. This may be important. It's the name of the mage that was here. Whatever happened, I'm sure that mage is associated with it. We should keep it with us. And he will put it on his belt.
Gorstag just stands there and goes, "Okay," and then looks around. Where do we go next?
I'm gonna look back to Sin. Like when she said Stonewall the progress thing. Like, you do know that me taking something and then peasants moving it and moving shit aren't too different to anchor a spirit, right?
It all depends on the order that it happens. If the spirits are at peace, before it's taken, it doesn't matter as much as when they're angered, like they are currently.
Yeah, that's what I said. When we cure the place of the curse, it doesn't really matter at that point.
But
They
right
are
now it
angered
does.
by curse, not by movement. We break curse, they do not give shit about what we do. They have told us this. Let us go.
Anyway,
I
Emmet
agree
will
with
point
Gorstag.
towards this building, because that's the one that's closest, and he doesn't know where either of these buildings are. And will, oh god, Gorstag's just running.
Do you guys understand Sin's point, though?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I mean, I understand it. Nihilus just doesn't really care.
Gorstag
Holy
does.
shit, mate!
All right, hold on.
Hold on.
Ryan, assume we are
Holy
all walking
shit.
at the same pace in a clump.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
Now, I have a question. Are you avoiding the burnt spots or not?
Yes.
I mean, pretty much my
mean-
path would be here, around there, through over there, and then into the door.
Okay.
I just
So
want.
there's not really a place to go through a burnt spot.
All right.
I'm kind of looking around, just trying to see if I can find bodies as well. Like bodies or just bones of bodies.
Emmett is all eagle-eyed up, trying to look for undead.
Because either everything turned to like ashes, or there are still remains of people here.
All right. There do not appear to be remains of bodies anywhere that you can find.
Damn it.
That is a
Alright.
perception check. Just looking around. You know that there's undead and there's skeletons in the bottom of the lake. If it would have been a thing, you could just go grab those real quick.
I'm not. No, I'm not gonna just do that willy nilly. I'm gonna wait for the precise opportunity to do undead shit. That's why I was hoping there'd be bodies around town.
As you look at the building, there once was a second story to this house. It has since fallen to disrepair from whatever has happened here and appears to be both a heap of debris and inaccessible. It appears to have had a previous stairwell set that went up directly to it from the ground. Looking at the building, the remaining story is, relatively speaking, intact. It has scars, marring, scratches and such along it, and it seems to have been licked by the flames, but remains relatively intact. The imposing wooden double doors are surprisingly still intact.
Can I make a knowledge nature check real quick?
To figure out what?
The flame is Emmett would be walking through everything, like all the melted stone and all of that. Would this be evidence of a dragon having been here at some point?
Sure, you can make a knowledge nature. Oh, that happened before Numerius's thing. From the accounts that you have read, as again, no one has really seen many dragons, Numerius excluded, for a few centuries. Yes, this does seem to be on par with something a dragon theoretically could do.
I'm gonna look towards Numerius. Know any of your other kin have been here recently? This, from what I've read, this looks just much like dragon tracks as I will ever see. Pointing towards all the fire and burned stone.
Numerius is slow to answer. Not hesitant, but just very, very uncomfortable to be here. Eventually he will say, not recently, not to my knowledge, but this was a dragon. I'll tell you that with certainty.
Emmett will then pull one of his bleeding arrows out and notch it instead of the holy water arrow he had previously. Go, regardless, dragons bleed. I can kill it.
Oh, whoops, that was the wrong layer. I was about to move this. That would be helpful.
That would, please no.
All right. Gorstag, is there anything else you're looking for about the house, or is that a sufficient set of details?
I'm looking for. I guess that's enough details. Yeah.
Okay.
If there's any sort of extra marks on it, like attack marks on the door, like someone tried to get in or out or something.
The door does have a few gouges in it. So as a note, the doors open inward, and where the gouges are look like gigantic claws would have had the door partly opened, drug their nails, and in a single motion pulled back and swung the doors open. If that makes sense.
Okay. So.
Is Numerius okay?
He's obviously shaken.
Sin's going to come over to him and lay a hand on his shoulder. Do you need help?
I don't know.
Oh.
Let's see if this helps. She channels some positive energy into him, trying to ease his emotional pain, if he has any.
Yep. Well, the results of that are entirely up to Axel.
I think it would help for a time, at least.
Okay. Then the Xanax has kicked in for a little bit.
So, regarding this building, you said there's basically no roof?
There's no roof, and the second story is basically like the rest of the buildings.
So there wouldn't exactly be a floor to it?
No.
Okay. So, is this tree still standing?
Yes.
Okay. Emmett is going to climb up that tree and
Okay.
look into the building.
Actually, give me a second. Hold on, I've got a Pythagorean theorem. Alright, go ahead and give me a perception roll. And I can
Oh, really? A 5. Alright, I mean, that's not awful.
Okay. Peering in, I can reveal some of it. As a note, do not click on the scrolls because you cannot read them from where you are.
Okay, I clicked on one, but immediately
Click on the
off.
scroll.
Don't
All right.
click on the scroll.
I clicked
Click
on
on
one,
scroll.
but I clicked
Okay,
off
guys.
the screen so that I wouldn't read it.
Alright, so Emmett's looking for two things. Are there any dead bodies?
No, there are not.
And are there any, blood? I guess I'll do a survival for this. Is there anywhere that looks like someone died? bloodstains, drag marks, stuff like that.
Yes, there are some antiquated bloodstains right around in here.
Right where the babies' cribs were?
So, Emmett at this point will jump down and walk up and see if the door's unlocked because he knows there's nothing on the other side.
The door is not locked.
He will just fling it open.
Dorkstag will open the other one.
And walk in.
Pushing the doors open. Now you can start to see that there are scraps of paper on the ground. They appear to have been pages in a journal. They are remarkably well intact.
All right.
I can't read shit.
Emmett will pick it up and read it. Pick up the first one and read it aloud.
What language is it in?
No. Gorstag can read. I literally can't read the text on my screen.
I can read it.
Okay, I can. Do you want me to read it aloud?
Yes, D.
It is written in a somewhat antiquated common. Or Valish, rather.
He
Sure.
can do it easily. Entry 2.
Gorstag got it.
I have found little need for this journal as my position as a noble has required an absurd amount of writing letters and edicts. I am curious now if my chancellor's priors simply did this work for me, or if my own tenure required little in the way of this tedium. I choose to dwell on this little more. A new human arrived in town. He claimed his name is Matthias. His estate was established ahead of time, and I have had many months to know of his arrival. But seeing him in person sets me ill at ease. He has claimed himself to be a great diviner, and of that, in regards to mortals, I have no doubt he is. But his skills likely pale in comparison to the dreamer. He seeks employ in my court as the court mage, and though I will grant him this job only to keep him close, I am concerned that he corrected me on matters of Dracairn history. I pointed out a ring of guises he wore to be a resonance ring from the second era of Dracairn. He corrected me to point out it was a non-resonant ring from the first era, before the mastery of resonance. This correction, and that it was correct, is concerning.
Oh.
And then he will stow it in a book that he, like his notebook, and search around the room. Because you said there's a ton of papers.
Yes, most of them are the rest of them are scraps or blanks. The ones that are important have the token.
Are there any books?
Only spines and husks of
Damn.
books.
Okay. Looking for a book on
Will then pick up the second one.
Gorstag will do the heavy lifting and pick up the books, then hand them to someone to read.
Fun fact, if you move the screen at all, it doesn't work. It has taken many years, but the ritual is ready and the Dawnstone is prepared. At last, I will be able to restore to myself the powers of a magic long since stripped from this world by vengeful children. It comes on the eve of regret. I rent the town asunder on the fall of the night. It was unavoidable. The idiot pushed too many buttons. He incensed the townsfolk and they attempted to revolt. Their sacrifice matters little. This town served its purpose. In a few short hours, I will be reborn with the power I once wielded, and then I can rest and dream, preparing for a day when all other things are right for my true plan.
Oh, this guy sounds like an asshole.
Lion, do you have text documents of these?
I will be making it available once you have discovered all of them.
Okay, you have them in order. Okay.
Yes.
Gorstag, find door.
Emmett's gonna turn around to Numerius and go, "You coming in?"
For fuck's sakes, are you serious?
Numerius takes a deep breath before crossing the threshold and says to no one particular, but does say aloud, just still a lot of bad memories.
Then we will head through the door, I assume.
Yes. As a note, I will reveal the presence of a few more things. The hallway extends on, and this door. Alright. Do you wish to open this door?
Or do we want to go down the hallway?
Might as well go towards the closest door.
Honestly,
Okay,
it's-
through the door.
All right. This room is devoid of any furniture. What might have once been furniture is now crumbled piles of wood and stone and various other building materials strewn about the room. A single piece of paper lies at the far southern end of the room.
Emmett will walk into the room and perception the fuck out of that single piece of paper sitting in the other side of the room.
Okay.
Really?
Good job, Gorstag.
I rolled a 3.
You have the best eyes of the party.
What
But-
do your Gorstag eyes see? Beer.
Your-
Everything but the archers.
What does my perception roll show me? Everything but the archers. What?
You have better eyes than the elven archer. How? You roll the
Wait,
fucking-
there's
you
an
roll
elven
like shit.
archer?
No.
No, there is not a surprise elven archer anywhere in this room.
There's only
Nope.
the normal elven archer.
Yes. There is, however, a surprise warhammer somewhere in this house.
Is it a
I
plus
want a
2 Warhammer? Is it a plus 2 Warhammer foreshadowing?
It's a
Maybe.
+2 Warhammer of concealing.
Up in Kakoni's channel, he's very angry and he doesn't know why right now.
It's a +2 Warhammer of metagame thinking.
Oh shit.
Do,
That's
do,
powerful.
do we
So-
see anything near the paper?
No, there is nothing else near the paper. Which is disconcerting in its own right, but it does seem safe enough indeed.
And there are no bodies, no
Survival
spirits
check.
so far.
Gorstag picks it up and brings it over to the person to read.
I'm so sorry. Alright, I will read it aloud. If, Lion, I can read it aloud without crazy haunt monsters attacking us, right?
Yep.
Entry 6. Perhaps, in nostalgia, I pen this last entry. Ghosts and psychic vagrants haunt this town of Cenders. My first dream told me of truths. The boy was complex. He will be like me. He will bring ruin with him, and he will know the power of power. If it were not for the fact that he will destroy himself, I will seek him out and crush him like the whelp he is now. His father damned him far more than I ever would. I seek now to dream of a day when the stars are right, that they may resonate once again. I leave this place now as soon as the ink dries for another place far north of here, to slumber in the cold I truly loved, not these southern winters that claim to be cold. The skeletal man was right, and I await a dreaming chance to thank him once more.
Gorstag confused. Is this poetry?
Lily will say, I don't believe it's poetry.
Nor do I.
Regardless, we know the end of the story, now for the beginning.
If we truly cared about this guy, we could always just head to the north.
I look at Nihilus. He refers to Ustavgard.
Or perhaps further
Further.
north than that.
He did mention cold. There's an entire land of snow from what I know. Would I know
What-
that, or does no one know
Does
that?
Gorstag know any places to the north?
Yes, Gorstag, you do know of a place to the north. You have to bear with me. Photoshop has to be opened because I need my world map.
How common knowledge is it that people would know that there's like a entire snowy land north of the Vale?
Actually, give me one moment while I get a map because I think I have a correct one that will
Yeah.
work for this.
I also have a geography check to know of lands to the north.
So as it stands, there is in common knowledge, people do know that far beyond Ustavgard, there is the northern ice sheets.
Okay.
There's the northern snow part tips of Indirian, and then there is a polar cap that sailors are aware of. Though it's not the most common knowledge in the Vale because you're a landlocked nation, it's still information that has made its way towards you lot. As for Gorstag, you do know of a place that is more north than Ustavgard. A place that, well, a place near and dear to you once in your life.
Ah. Does it sound familiar to what this guy was describing?
The winters you had there are, I mean, you've probably been in the Vale long enough to have experienced the Valish winter. The winters from where you're thinking of are fairly more intense compared to this country's winters. However, it seems like he might be speaking of winters in the snow sheets, which is actually fairly close to where you're thinking of, but you're far enough away and had a barrier mountain that it didn't experience the true like glacial winters.
Ah. So Gorstag kind of mentions the ice sheet when they start talking about where they could be to the north.
I'm gonna walk into the hallway. Is there any more hallway, or is it just ending at that?
Yes, there is. I will reveal the rest of that. I'm just going to reveal the rest of that now because it doesn't matter.
And it will walk over here and jiggle the knob a little bit.
All right, it is unlocked.
I'm just waiting for like a very powerful spirit to just open the door and bitch.
Perception check. Well, I was gonna perception check the door, but if nothing,
No, it's
not necessary.
none of the doors are trapped. Door traps are cheesy and are only useful in actual dungeons.
And it will just take a step into the room and look around.
This room is entirely devoid of features and such, though some of the dust patterns do indicate it may have once been a bedroom.
Can I make a survival check? Does it look like it was, well, I don't know if I can tell. Does it look like it was looted? Like stuff just disappeared, or?
As you look around with that survival roll that Sin had, and with these questions, something isn't natural about this house, in that with the way everything is preserved, but with the damage around here, this house couldn't have been subjected to the same damage the town was and be in this state. And as you think about it, the town or the house may be recreated as a manifestation of this curse.
All right. At this point, I will pick up this piece of paper.
Okay.
Any demons?
No.
Poop, doop, doop. No demons. All right, I'm gonna read it. She is with child, though I have no doubts that it will bear resemblance to me. I fear there might be complications when the time comes that it is born. I also feel that the timing is incorrect for the child, but I know little of the means of humans. I will observe for now. My researches are correct, however. Ans Kreis is a location that bears not only a ley line, but a powerful magical parallel. Perhaps it is the convergence of some convergence of transitive energies. The truth matters little. It will serve the Dawnstone well enough.
Upon hearing that, Lily will say, "This sounds ominous."
Dawnstone, Dawnstone. Can I make a religion check about this Dawnstone?
Yeah, I was about to ask about that.
Sure. Whilst you are doing that, she will say to Nemarius, "Does any of this sound familiar?"
A concerning amount.
And it will kind of gesture towards the two of them, Lily and Numerius. It goes, I would be surprised if it did. Judging by the fact that he said this is his childhood home, and these letters bear bear information regarding a child just being born, he would have been an infant when these events occurred.
Yes, but even still, she trails off for a moment. As for, I will get to her trailing off in a second. As for those religion checks, it sounds like a strange one of 5 artifacts from an ancient religion that has almost entirely died out at this point.
What kind of religion?
Oh, a draconic religion.
For what it's
Few
worth,
oh, yes.
Numerius will, with no proof, just a blind shot in the dark guess, suggest potentially it is the stone that the 2 elves have. I know nothing of this, though.
I mean, they did say they killed a few dragons in their times.
It wouldn't
So
be
it
too
is
far.
possible.
It wouldn't be too far of a shot.
But it still doesn't explain earlier why it glowed worse than Thanos. Not the rest of us. Well, except for you. If it is draconic in nature, it makes no sense.
Sin does not comment.
After an uncomfortable silence, Numerius will just say, "It is a personal matter."
To further expand upon the religion, it is one of 5 artifacts bestowed by a dragon god upon their faithful, or believed to be one of those 5. But again, the religion has nearly died out as there have been no dragons, and the kobolds aren't great at keeping religion alive.
Who is Nihilus reading, and what is he trying to read?
I was reading Axel when he says it's a personal matter. Like, I was trying to judge how personal, but
Very.
Sorry, I'm back.
I'm back.
Axel just kind of shrugged it. He's curious as to why it worked for Sin, but he's not going to keep pushing it right now. He'll push it later, but not now.
All right, we ready to continue to read more books about books about books?
Sure. Move forward and
No.
get yourself bitch slapped by a demon or undead at some point.
1 for left, 2 for right. Going to the right.
Wild magic.
Lightning.
Emmett will check this door, give it a little jiggle and all that.
It is fine. It is unlocked, and it is much the same. It may have once been a bedroom, but it is fully devoid of furniture. Sans 1 piece of paper.
I will go forth into the room and paper read.
Paper
Okay.
magic.
All right. It feels unfitting to diminish myself to the stature of these creatures. It has been centuries since I've had to start doing this. But I must admit, it feels like I assume a human. What?
It feels like, I assume, a human feels in a poorly
Okay.
tailored suit of clothing.
Okay, I saw a comma. Okay. It takes immense measures of self-control to prevent my strength from bleeding through into this form. The act of writing these entries serves as my guiding focus to prevent myself from slipping up greatly while masquerading here. This concept of marriage that humans have is admittedly a curiosity that I have indulged for a dual reason. It serves to further my goal and it intrigues me. I cannot consider how short their span of life must be that a permanent bond is considered a valid choice. Even the days I spend working are but an overly long gesture compared to the time I've spent working on this project. And at that point, Emmett will leave the room.
Right. And I assume you're going to open the last door.
Yepperoonie.
All right. Now,
Is this
as
the
you
child
read,
room?
no, this appears to have been a kitchen or some sort.
All right, sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
I must ask if, while he is about to read, is everyone going to be in the room, or are people going to be out in the hallway? And if so, arrange yourself as you so desire.
I'll arrange myself there.
Okay.
All right,
Fucked
Lion,
up arrow formation. Go.
let me know.
You are good to start reading.
I'm getting combat music ready.
All right.
You won't
I need you to move so
possibly
that I can-
need that.
Yeah, you're fine. His skills are prodigious for something beyond that of a mortal. They are honed with a degree that 10 mortal lives could not grant. He has solved the enigma of the Dawnstone, which is disconcerting. I have assuaged his fears for now, claiming it was merely a bauble bestowed upon me by a traveling witch. In truth, it holds the key to my work here. It is one of the last orbs of resonance in existence. It will take many years for my preparations to be complete. But once they are, I will see that my true power is restored. That is
As the last words are spoken aloud, rising from the ground in the corner is
Which
a
corner?
strange, you'll see here in a second, creature. Skeletal, burnt, barely held together, its face sort of falling apart and forming into something strange, has emerged from the ground and lets out a terrifying screech and readies its claws.
What was that? Is someone going poop?
No, get ready.
No, but Emma's about to get attacked.
But I like my trachea!
That's
I'm an
unfortunate.
archer. Why am I in the middle of the room?
That's unfortunate. It doesn't like that you have a trachea.
It's just jealous.
Holy shit!
Oh, I don't like that last part. Oh, I do not like that last part at all.
That's a hit, man. Holy fuck!
Oops.
They have Bane's Vola, bitch.
It lurches forward at you, Emmett, because you were the one that read aloud the words, and it claws at your chest.
Because I'm assuming I was reading the notes of Numerius' father. Do I receive the Bane because it thinks I'm a
No.
Scabola? Okay.
No, but that's still 20 fucking damage, dude.
Hey, it did not instantaneously knock me unconscious.
No. But, you know, I'm at least glad that you being the one to do things was the one that got you.
Actually, is that 13 a natural one? No. Both of those will hit. Oh, hold on. I have to... Nope, nope. I have to make sure of something. No, okay. As you strike at it, a membrane of strange ectoplasm seems to cushion some of the blows, but the membrane is starting to disintegrate under the assault.
Is the strange ectoplasm absorbed into my axe?
It is.
Numerius will delay until after Emmett.
Okay. Nihilus.
This thing's obviously fucking undead. Fuck, casting provoke. So...
Good 5-foot step back.
I can't hit it.
Yes, however, having the buff might still be beneficial this round because this thing started to tear at Emmett's trachea. It might be good to be better prepared.
Okay, well, 5-foot step then. And I'm going to... Let's see, there's that one spell point it uses. Why am I down to... Did it?
Because
use
I
it?
had run the hangman on you before. The
Yeah, but I
macro.
have 12. I'm down to 9 spell points.
Oh,
Because it takes.
I mean, okay, so improved strength does do it twice. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot you did that. So that's correct.
okay.
And is there a way to tell if this undead's raised via the reanimate death sphere talent, or just because of the curse?
You can attempt a spellcraft roll. It is reanimated because of the curse.
Okay. That's good to know. My turn's over then.
Alright. Emmett.
And it will 5-foot step back.
The archer learned his lesson.
I was reading the thing.
Yeah, he had no way
Yeah,
of
I
knowing
know,
that
I know.
attack was coming.
I'm going to barrage it. Those are not whistle arrows. These are, in fact, holy
Dildo
water.
arrows.
It cannot bleed.
But they are holy water arrows.
Alright. The ectoplasmic membrane, again, seems to alleviate some of the hits, but it is starting to disintegrate. Alright. I believe at this point, if you have anything else, it is now Numerius' turn.
It is. It is.
Move action to become his construct. 5-foot step. And smack it with a Moonsteel Longsword.
Okay. That will deal the double damage to it, and will hit the AC 12 creature. The ectoplasmic membrane will go down.
So is the monster killed?
No, it's still alive.
I think delayed
You've
damage.
dropped the shield. Now it's time for Sophie to give it a good old home run swing.
Or, you know,
Oh, I assume that was the end of your turn.
Yes.
Okay.
a double heal
So,
on Emmett and the Rage Husk.
Judging by how it reacted to the holy water and what she knows about undead, can she tell if this one is vulnerable to positive energy?
It's not vulnerable in that it will take damage in half, but yes, it will take damage from holy energy, or
Alright.
positive energy.
Sin is going to step behind Gorstek and begin to channel that energy into Emmett and the husk.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
That is unnecessary amounts of healing.
No,
Dear
it's
God.
fine. It's fine. You took 20. That's only 11 more healing than you took in damage.
What is your DC?
It is. Shit. What is it?
1/2 caster level plus
15.
wisdom mod plus 10. Okay.
To be fair, she rolled an 18 on 3d8.
Oh, wait, it's a plus caster level? Did this calculate
Ye-
right?
Should be 1/2 caster level plus.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so it is 15.
It should be 16 if you cast using wisdom.
She doesn't have a
Because-
20 wisdom.
What?
Have my
Caster level
my
are
caster
you?
level is 3. I'm a mid caster.
So it should be plus.
It's 4
No.
plus
Okay,
1.
never mind.
It doesn't round up. Alright. It will start taking some damage, its body disintegrating some under the assault of the holy energy, though it seems to have shrugged off most of or some of the detrimental effect. Lily is going to cast ward on herself so that she has the ablation chance. And curse that she did not do that beforehand. The Rage Husk is up, and now it turns its fury anew onto Numerius.
The actual Scaevola, who will be hit.
It looks upon you, Numerius, and its claws begin to shimmer and glow as it simply screeches in anger and hatred.
And Sin will take the first hit. If it hits him.
Wait a minute.
The first will miss.
Does the extra damage apply to Sin?
It will, because it is treated as if the attack hit its primary target.
No, I just meant like if
She will take the bane damage.
I meant like if she didn't block Numerius's hit, would it affect her right now?
Yes, it would have.
Okay.
However, the first attack will miss, but I believe that 23 on the second attack will hit
Yeah.
Is that
for
one
19
incorporating-
damage.
Actually, the second attack is not incorporating the -5.
It doesn't have a -5.
Right, you changed natural attacks, right?
No. It could
No?
just be doing a full round action. Or it could have 6 base attack bonus.
Yeah, but if it has 6 attack base bonus and it does 2 attacks, the second attack takes a -5, doesn't it?
Not on natural
No.
weapons. That's not
Oh.
how natural weapons exist or work.
Huh,
Nat-
okay.
He's changed it so that you can get multiple natural attacks on a standard action. Most
You
of
can
them,
get all of your attacks for iterative attacks on a standard action too.
Yeah, just most of them are penalized unless you have high base attack bonus. Because he wants to disincentivize having infinite natural attacks. And if you don't do that, characters who rely on natural attacks fall behind.
Alright,
Okay. Oh, that's 19 damage to you, dude.
Gorstag, you are
I
up.
thought Sin was starting it.
That was the first hit.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Just dying a little. I'm okay now.
She could only guard against the first attack.
Yep.
The second attack still hits you.
Oh, it specifically calls out it's a
Anyone want to guess what's about to happen?
Is it axes? Oh god, it's axes.
29 points of damage.
Its body is taking this abuse. It is eating hit after hit after hit. Anything else?
Attack.
Okay.
About it.
Alright. Nihilus.
5-foot step. Fury on. Okay, I did calculate right. And enhanced swing. Are you fucking kidding me? That's a 1. Damn it. Ah.
You know, it's hilarious for a number of reasons. Because not only would you actually miss, but you also rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
I assume that was the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. You should switch to the Holy Arrow macro. Because you had made that, Liam. Also, I can't hear you if you're talking.
I haven't made the Holy Arrow macro yet.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna roll 1d6 twice.
Consistent.
And then I will spend 3 tension to shoot him again. For another d6. Whatever, it's damaging.
14.
Alright. Numerius.
25 points of damage.
I don't like this thing. I don't like this thing a lot.
It doesn't like you either.
God fucking damn it.
Oh.
It's fine because that.
No.
I'm gonna step
5 foot
back.
step.
No!
Well,
It needs its trachea!
Well, don't worry, Emmett.
Yeah, and I need to get not my heart torn out.
But you're a construct. You don't have a heart. You just have a core.
With Numerius closer, Sin will put her hand on his shoulder and do the same exact thing. Because fuck this thing. God, I love this blessing.
Fucking insane.
Oh,
It's-
Jesus.
It's not just the spheres that are doing it.
I know. I'm not arguing.
She turned into ash, didn't she?
It crumples to the ground and begins to dissolve into the ground, gurgling out profane curses in languages you're not quite certain that you understand as it sinks back.
Wait.
That was
Infernal or abyssal?
Question.
I would assume necral, if anything.
Language of
Also,
curses.
for what it's worth, that heal was 2 off of max, and also when you kill an undead, they're dead. Period. End of. You can't raise them.
God damn it. I'm not gonna be able to use my fucking reanimate here.
I'm also gonna point it towards the corpse. The corpse is dissolving like normal undead shouldn't, right?
No, it's just being subsumed into the ground.
I'm gonna point
It's-
at it. It's going to come back. We need to figure out what the fuck curse is doing this, and we need to cure it now.
No, there's one more building that we have to check.
Let's go.
And then we'll just start like heading out quickly. Like, all right, come on, guys, let's go.
Sin
Alright.
will transform into a fox so she doesn't slow people down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the combat music on because I don't know.
Gorsag will scoop up the fox.
Numerius takes a shaky breath before leaving the room.
Okay.
As yeah, that thing really didn't like him. Gee, I wonder why.
By the way, Lion, just for your sake, for the
Yes.
hanged man, when I have a free action to do the constant +2, +2, -2,
Mm-hmm.
just assume that whenever I use the hangman, it's just gonna be a +2 to will and fortitude, and always a -2 to reflex.
Okay.
Just reflex, like it doesn't really matter for Nihilus. It's never
So,
really good.
as we're walking, I'm just going to as soon as he gets outside of the building, he's going to start scanning around for any sort of arcane symbols or anything like that of any undead starting to rise.
Or,
you
you know-
don't see any.
Are there corpses now? Were they just being hidden?
No, there's no corpses.
Ah, yeah.
You have control of my token, so you can drag me along with you.
Okay.
All right.
Emmett,
Not.
I
yeah,
need you to stop right there.
right
Because he
there. I
stepped in the
into
black.
blight. Yeah. Let's save.
Reflex save. As plummeting from the sky is a hellacious ball of fire, striking down into the ground and exploding outwards.
It takes the form of a dragon, so it really hates you.
And then I will spend my 2 tension as a free action.
All right. You will be able to have the damage as the ball erupts into ghostly hellfire streaking out from the center of the scorch mark, catching you at the fringes.
All right. That's 6 damage or 5 damage because it rounds.
Oh, yeah, you're fire retardant.
Yes.
Emmett just steps out. He's going to pull out his arrows and fire an arrow into each burning spot that he can see, and go, "Don't walk where the arrows are."
Sin yaps.
He will keep walking.
Okay.
By the way, Eric,
Yes.
Sin is not walking beside Gorsag. Gorsag's carrying.
Yeah, I figured as much.
We're running, right? Not just walking.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna stop Nihilus and point towards the door. Is that one of the same burn
Oh,
marks?
I didn't even see that.
It appears similar but different.
Emmett will walk up here.
And once we get there, Sin will jump out of Gorstag's arms.
How much of a running start could I? Does that door look unlocked?
You can give me a perception roll. Anyone can give me a perception roll if they would like. All right.
You know, seeing people look at the door, Numerius is going to walk up, turn into a construct, and reach over the burning spot, or the burned spot. Would I be able to stand here or further away?
You would need to stand there where your turn is. Right. As you do so, the good news is that with all of those collective perception rolls, the door does seem to be unlocked. And Numerius, this is going to be an attack against your touch AC plus 10. Because your arm is exceedingly hard to hit.
That
Will
misses.
miss.
You said
That would
plus
exceed his touch AC by 1.
Is that
Yep.
that's fire damage, right?
Yes.
So Emmett would get hit by it and then just go, fucking, I don't care.
No, because it would hit these
Okay.
squares. As you reach out, another globule of molten fire descends from the sky, almost catching your arm, Numerius.
Would he take any damage or no?
No damage.
Does the door look like it's ajar at all, or is it firmly closed?
With the touch on it, it is now somewhat ajar.
All right,
Oh,
Emmett's going to do something that may be hilariously stupid. Emmett is going to run at the door, jump over it, and attempt to just open the door with his shoulder.
He's gonna try to body check the door.
Flying
Running
time.
a leap body check.
As I noted, there's a slight gradient here in hill, so just going like that would also work.
Yes. All right, he will do that. And oh my god!
Cool.
I wish no. And then I will make a separate strength check to body check the door.
Yep.
There are two separate checks. It's just
Mhm.
he lights on fire.
Oh boy, I can't see how this is gonna fail.
Go ahead, give me the strength check. Okay.
I have a higher strength than you.
Yeah, you do. I was hoping for a very low roll.
All right, give me 1 second whilst I reveal the room that you're going to crash into, whilst also possibly being on fire.
So I am there right now.
This will be against your touch AC minus 2.
Yeah, that hits. So I
Are those two separate sources of fire damage?
all of that is separate fire damage from what I recall.
Actually, I need to go find the spell again because I think because I don't remember. All right.
Well, the
I
persistent-
don't remember.
So the persistent fire damage would be separate. So I would take 9 damage and then 6 damage separately.
Yes.
So it would be 4 damage and 1 damage. So
Yep.
16. So Emmett looks fairly scorched now, but the door is open, and if you guys wish to not fail as badly as he did,
Hey, Numerius, you did learn how to create water from me originally, right?
Yes.
How about you hit the black spot with that? Because I can't do that anymore.
Numerius looks a little confused, but will do so.
All right. Dousing it, you will be able to reduce the fire damage that might come about from traipsing through those squares and getting hit.
Alright, good. I'm just gonna kind of walk through. I'm not gonna do the acrobatic stuff, because I can't do it.
This will be against your touch AC plus 5.
Alright.
That will miss.
Plus 5?
Yeah. So your touch AC of 13.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait,
Your value
right. Fury
plus
off.
a-
Fury off.
Yes.
Fury off. It's a 15, not 13.
Okay. I
For
assume
what
everyone
it's
else is
worth,
going
Numerius will douse it again each time
Okay.
someone goes through, just in case it refreshes the effect. He has no idea, and it can only help.
and I'm assuming Lily just teleports because it's Lily and she doesn't care.
Lily could
Yes.
teleport us all.
I was wondering if someone was going to notice that. Yes.
Now doesn't care. He knows the Marius can use water, and he knows he's resistant to fire. He
She will teleport the rest of you in there.
Okay.
Cool. Gorstag was just like, okay.
So, real quick, Lion, does it matter in order of when I pick up these letters?
No.
All right. Niall, so Emmett will pick them all up and try to quickly sort them in order before reading them aloud. Can you just kind of point in the order of the four which one is which?
That's
That one
the first
first?
one. Yep.
All right. I have arrived in town after something of a trek. My superiors in Venheim told me there'd be little in the way of roads between here and Oakhurst. Though they were right, they could not prepare me for the dangers of the valleys and hills my travels took me through. I had faced many perils, but in the end, the trip has paid off. I have found the village of Ancres, and within it I have found the people that I was told would be here, as the High Mage foretold. I have met the woman and her husband, who both rule this town. It is odd, though, to see someone of such a high stature as Lady Anastasia put in such a backwater town. Perhaps my understanding of the nobility of these foreign lands fails me, or there is more to this town than meets the eye. My job here and now is clear, however, and I shall begin integrating myself within the
Ingratiating.
Ingratiating, okay. It should not prove difficult, as I have little doubts that my skills as a diviner will be greatly appreciated by any noble in these lands. Though I must admit, I am off-put by the large accommodations that were raised by my benefactor, and that I've been forced to resort to using a precious Dracarnian relic to hide my true visage from these superstitious folk.
All right. Next one is this one.
For a second, I thought you said I have put out, and I was like, well, dear diary.
All right. Page number 30. Lady Anastasia came to visit me today. She caught me off guard and without my relic's disguise, but she seemed little more than annoyed at my true appearance. During some conversation, she revealed to me that though she carried the Scalevolan name, she was moved here at the request of a noble higher in power than herself after her marriage to Raymond. In truth, she should have held Torwald. Things get stranger still when she relayed to me that Raymond seemed to have championed for this location. As far as I can tell, it serves little value to the greater country, and my research shows that there has been little of value here since its founding some centuries ago, which raises more suspicions about how I am to be paid my wages. Though not exorbitant, I am baffled as to how a town so small with so few things going for it could continue to afford my services. However, each month, like clockwork, I am handed my stipend of money. Perhaps there is much more to this place than I originally imagined, or perhaps I am thinking too hard on it. Regardless, my plan continues to march forward. I'm assuming it's the top one now, Lion?
No, it's this one.
Oh, yeah. She is with child now, which has the town abuzz. Soon enough, the first heir to the Scavolan name will be born. She managed to convince Raymond, it seems, or she's great at spinning stories. Raymond seems to have relaxed some, however. He has grown more complacent and less paranoid as news arrived to Ancres. The city-state of Dern has joined Southvale and their swamps have been drained. The Delaire family is now a member of Valish nobility. I do not know why this has him so at ease, but I will take it.
And now it's this one.
The child was born and he is a healthy boy. He has his mother's eyes and none of his father's faults. He has displayed prodigious aptitude with magic already, despite not being more than a month old. On several occasions, he has been observed to have turned himself into something else. This is overly concerning. I will observe and continue to report. I believe we have found him.
Lily stops herself as she starts to say something, realizing she's trembling, and will say, "This seems haunting."
Regardless, it seems Numerius's existence in this world may have been foretold, but we shall not know more until we continue searching.
I have a reaction, though I'm waiting for something from Lion. And when Emmett finishes reading that letter, Numerius visibly pales and says, That can't be possible.
What do you mean?
I do not know how to explain it without saying everything, and that may take some time.
Lion, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Can I sense motive these to tell whether or not he is talking about the child as if it is his own or as if it is Raymond's?
Sure, you can give me a sense about it. There seems to be implications that the true parent is uncertain.
I look at I look to Marius. Regardless, your father might not have been the Scaevola you think.
It doesn't matter. At this moment, I don't know which one I despise more.
Well,
How about we say both and continue on?
Emmett points towards Rest House. This building shall probably prove which one. And Emmett, as soon as he puts down the note, notches an arrow because he doesn't want his fucking trachea ripped out last time.
Yeah, patrol.
And he will also gesture towards St. Dennis. Can I get some healing?
Sure.
Gesturing towards the singe marks covering his body.
Sin will offer some healing.
Good enough. That's enough.
Have
Oh,
I
10.
forgot to turn that off.
Gorstak is silently been angry this entire time.
He's just silently fuming.
Oh,
How
Did
many
I read-
minutes have
did I read this letter down here? Did I read all four in the room?
Yes, you have read all four in the room.
Okay.
Lion, how many minutes have passed?
At this point, it probably only took you a minute to get out of the house and over here, so about a minute.
Okay, 49 minutes left on that enhanced strength.
No, not. Reading the notes, it's probably been about 10 minutes, so you got 30 minutes left.
39 minutes.
Yeah, that's the one.
At this point, Emmett is going to. His eyes will flash red, and Lion, if he sees anything invisible, he sees them like they're
All right.
not invisible.
There are not anything invisible here.
There are not anything invisible.
Shut up.
All your base now belong to us.
No, it's all your base are belong to us.
Alright, that's it.
Emmett will gesture towards that door.
Alright, with bastard sword in hand, he kicks open the door.
Okay. There are 2 letters in here.
Alright, Emmett. You've been so good.
Emmett will do the same thing with order.
Page 10 again. Jesus
so
Christ.
The one under Numerius first.
Yes.
I must admit. Oh, page 10. I must admit, these past few weeks have been interesting. Being able to reside within my true form while within the confines of this large estate that I have come to own now is a relief. Wearing the full skin of humanity disturbs me greatly. The plan is proceeding, however, and I have been accepted by Raymond Scalevola as his court mage, though I believe he is superstitious of some of my knowledge of certain matters that should not be known by lesser men. He has appointed me and tasked me with researching a mysterious curio in his collection, the Stone of Dawn. Though it is a curious trinket, I believe it to be little more than a bauble from an ancient kingdom. I will continue to record information about this curio as I discern it. And moving on, page 100. Ooh, this is important. I've met a peculiar couple of my god, my mouth. A peculiar couple of people today. They were a bonded pair of elves. I admit I know little of elven culture, but it appears that their form of marriage is not the same as human marriage. It also possesses fewer conflicts regarding concepts of love that humans seem hung up on. The two male elves were great warriors of renown in their home, a place they called Barabuto. I have heard of these lands, but know little of it myself. They had come to consult me about a long-term, perhaps even permanent, magical spell to be weaved into one of them. They thought it, though it was beyond my ability, I advised them as best I could. They thanked me for my time and informed me that they'd be spending some time in town if I thought of anyone else that might be able to help them. The boy grows. He is dexterous, adept at swordplay. His skills have surpassed many trainers that can be found. As I write now, perhaps I should point one of the elven lads towards teaching the boy, though I believe Raymond is intent on hiring a tutor from elsewhere in the country.
You said tutor.
All right. Just 2 more pages.
Give me one moment. I gotta fix one thing.
Oh.
You're fine. I have 2 letters or I have 2 pages in the wrong place. You
I
didn't
saw
just
that.
see them. No, you didn't.
You just switched them.
Lily will say, "This is unsettling."
You're not the one being described.
Oh. Who it describing?
Numerius.
Dragon Man?
She nods.
Ooh.
It feels almost as dispassionate and disconnected from the subject as something my father would have written. She shivers a little.
That is something for us to discuss later.
She realizes the implication of what she said and shakes her head. No, not like that. It couldn't have been my father. She stops as the GM stops and looks at his notes.
He wasn't a
Find his
good
age.
man.
No,
Zin
he
says.
wasn't. But he's only... fuck, it's not in my notes. He's only in his 40s. He could not have written these things himself.
I don't know. Magic does some strange shit.
And I believed my father to be in his 30s until he turned into a dragon and burned the town to the ground.
She flusters and turns red for a moment before blurting out, "Yes, well, your father didn't come to inherit didn't come to inherit the throne of this kingdom and have a written proof of his date of birth." And she stops for a moment, puts a hand to her mouth, realizing what she just said, and just sort of shirks back.
Sin marches over and hugs her. It's okay. We can trust them.
Does that mean Alexander knows then?
It's why we thought she was being hunted.
Regardless, that is something for another time, I feel.
You're right. I kicked down the door.
Fair enough. She is very comforted by the hug, however.
I like how Nihilus is more disrespecting of inanimate objects than Gorstag.
Look, I don't have time to open the fucking door. We need our reading machine to get in there and just start reading the fucking scroll. So come on, Emmett, get your archer ass in here.
What do your archer eyes see?
Yeah. What do your archer's eyes read?
Well, this is what... I'm sorry, I was muted. And it will say when Lily says she's the king. And he will go, ignoring the 17, he kind of counts on his fingers, acts of treason I just committed by not immediately running to go tell the kingdom, I'm going to press on for now.
Treason.
Okay, can I get an order on these?
Yes, this one first.
All right. Page 15. I have found the most curious quirk of the curio. In my own hands, the stone does little and responds almost negatively to my magics. In the hands of Raymond, however, the stone seems to glow with energy all on its own. This leads me to believe that the High Mage was not only right, their fears were right as well. We remain uncertain how anyone could have discovered an artifact such as this, as we believe all such artifacts were destroyed when the Plague of Fire crept over the kingdom of Drakhairn. If it still survives, perhaps other relics of the Five Monarchs still exist as well. If the High Mage is right, the First Awakening might be happening. But it leaves me to a question of why here? I'm doing a lot more talking than I'm used to in a session today. Anyway, next one. Page 45. Lady Anastasia has visited me once more. She expressed concern at her husband's superstition of me and his growing paranoia over events. Though I wish I could say these matters were all that she came to confess to me, they were not. She was in her 23rd year and was not yet with an heir to the name. Raymond had left her in many regards to focus on his work. But what was puzzling is how a man so fortunate as Raymond could disregard Lady Anastasia and her beauty. He was clearly benefiting from a marriage beyond his station and his personality. I comforted her as best I could.
Alright.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Emmett's going to quickly walk over here and peer into this area just to see what this is.
Before we actually leave, though,
Oh, yes.
Sin's going to say, I think that rules out the theory that Raymond might not be your father.
So it seems.
Well, considering it reacted to Marius and Raymond, but not the mage, I would say so.
I'm actually going to stop them. I believe Raymond is actually, in fact, the father of the stone. His
That's
father.
What I just said.
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you guys were doing reverse. I
No.
couldn't really hear you guys.
We were.
Yeah. No.
Sin
Okay.
suggested
appears
this
to be
confirms
a-
that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. I thought because you're a little quiet, I thought you said confirms. So is this staircases?
No, these are strange thing. Don't read that letter yet.
We go in this room first.
Yes.
I'm kicking
Okay.
down the
DM
door.
is telling me Divine Providence has told me to go into this room first.
Kicking down the door.
The Angels of Serenray just were holding a giant sign going, walk here.
Yeah, come on, they were holding in Celestial for you.
This one here, you dum-dums.
All right. Page 150. It has been around 2 decades since I started my mission. Raymond grows suspicious of me again, as he claims I show no signs of age, though I am quick to deflect, claiming some elven lineage. He reputes that I'd show other features. Truthfully, he also shows no sign of age. I rarely bring this point up with others, as the High Mage seems to have confirmed his own and my fears. Raymond is of Dracarnian descent, and the Stone of Dawn is one of the 5 symbols of the 5 monarchs. We approach a point of no return. An endgame must come soon. Either the Stone of Dawn must be stolen, or the truth of Raymond's identity brought to light.
And that ended his roguelike adventure. Alright.
Is Emmett now allowed to read the one in the room?
Yes.
Page.
Perhaps if there's no one else, or if there's no other letters, someone else should read it.
I don't mind either way.
You want to get attacked by another husk?
I'm wearing the armor. I'll wear it. Or I'll read it.
I'll wear it. Don't worry. I think you're even a bit too big for this, though, Sin. So I don't think you're small enough to wear the paper.
All right.
She picks it up and begins
So
to
there's
read.
actually not gonna be over there.
What?
I was talking to myself.
Okay. I've discovered two things to note here as I prepare for the true endgame. Raymond is who we feared.
That's an I.
Iaminth, one of the 5 dragon monarchs of Dracairn, one of those who brought ruin to the kingdom and nearly destroyed all magic. That the beast yet lives is cause for grave concern. That he seeks something here is of graver concern. His paranoia and corruption pushes the town towards oblivion. I fear, by nightfall, the streets will be awash with violence and death. But I learned the child isn't just Iaminth's. If I had time, I would have learned the truth, but we confront the beast tonight, and it's taken all of the favor I had to convince Anastasia to not be in the keep tonight, to give her a fighting chance to run. I wonder if the boy will ever learn. Perhaps not.
And it is, as theorized, that another husk emerges from the ground.
And Sin stares it dead in the face.
So how the hell does this hallway work?
That's a damn good
important.
question. That's a damn good question. The answer is probably don't want to be in it.
Oh, that's a shit spot for Sin.
With that, Gorstag, you hear the screeches and sounds of it. As a note, actually, I should note that yes, these indeed are actually half walls.
Okay.
This one, this one. This is an actual full wall, and I will denote that with a black mark.
But
So
everything
Gorstag can just
here,
hop over the wall.
everything
yes.
here onwards is half.
Yep.
Hi, friend. I wanna ask you some questions.
Okay. As before, both of those hits will connect, but the axe will begin drinking in the ectoplasmic cocoon that is protecting it some. And with that, I believe that is your turn then?
Yep.
Okay. The husk will not turn its attention to Gorstag, but will instead turn its attention to Synthenis, who had been reading the letter. You will take a quarter of the extra damage that is listed for the Bane.
Okay.
So, 1 and 1 extra, respectively.
Ouch. It starts to tear under her armor. So that's 15 and 12. 27.
Oh
And
my
she
god.
begins to bleed as she cries out in pain.
Nihilus.
That's a half wall, right?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna move over the half wall. Alright, let's give this another try. So we're in the ropes of this.
Oh,
That's better.
that's a solid hit. The ectoplasmic cocoon is just about destroyed.
Alright,
do-
that's all I got. How many
Numerius.
minutes of all that reading happened, by the way?
20, so you're down to 19 minutes, I believe, then.
Numerius will hop over. Well, first, because positioning actually matters, come as construct, hop over the half wall, and stab.
Is the half
God
wall
fucking damn it.
is the half wall difficult terrain?
No.
Okay.
I say half wall, it's kind of closer to like a 2-foot wall.
Okay.
Alright, yeah. Unfortunately, that
It's like
will
acrobatics
miss.
DC 0 to jump it.
Yes.
Someone
Can't
say
believe this.
acrobatics.
Hey,
Numerius
you
is
succeeded,
probably
AC.
never going to actually make that roll. Or actually, like, roll acrobatics. But, you know,
Damn it. Boom! That's tension.
can't believe level 4 characters like us can miss this
Oh,
fucking-
really? God damn it.
God damn, that is a 1. At least Lion's not like making your 1s break your bow.
Anything else?
That's it. I actually bought a more expensive bow because I wasn't sure if he was going to or not.
Sin.
Sin takes a step back, and as she does so, she begins to glow, and her wounds seal up. What to do? Yeah, I can get cost for this. And most of her wounds seal up.
Okay.
And she starts her patrol. That's her turn.
Lily.
Lily, having some predictive capacity, is going to provide ablation to Numerius.
Fantastic.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Here comes the Axis.
20 damage.
Okay. That will finish off the ectoplasmic cocoon and send it into taking real damage.
I'm actually kind of disappointed you haven't crit at all this session.
Did someone say
Don't worry.
crits? Is that it for Gorstag?
Hold on.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I hadn't seen it, so I wasn't sure if you were done your turn yet.
Yep.
And
Kind of my
guess what?
intern music.
Guess
The
what,
husk wants to take a nap.
No.
The husk
But Lily
wants
was-
to go teach us where treasure is and learn about friendship.
Also, no. Lily
Oh.
was right. It's gonna attack you, Numerius.
Okay.
You're not the boss of me now.
Woo!
Jesus. Okay.
Maybe you're the boss of me now.
At least, at least neither of those were a crit.
Now, the good news is that 25 or lower, 25 or oh my god,
You know it's never going to happen, right?
I know.
So what is the total damage minus 4?
1,000.
30.
Boy.
Oh, you have temporary hit points. I was looking at my sheet. I'm just like, why didn't that put you into wounds?
Temp HP, man.
All right.
You get temp HP every time you shift.
No, that was an artifact of me becoming large construct. For some reason, it didn't reset.
Oh, so you should be in wounds.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out how much temp HP I'd have.
What's the bonus on?
Trying to find that.
Oh,
Is
hang
it
on.
shoot
I can
per
tell
level?
you. You need to take 8 more damage.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like Bear's Endurance.
I realized I have the capacity to math out that problem.
So, Fury was turned off at the beginning of this turn. Fury is turned on.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Swing. Oh, never mind.
Oh, that is
Right.
unfortunate.
And now...
Although it did attack twice, right?
Yes, it did. All right, 14 and that, so that's a grand total of 30 damage going into it. It's looking haggard.
Looks like me.
No, haggard, not Hagrid.
Oh,
Nihilus, that was a good hit. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Since I know it's undead, I can't do any negative energy.
Numerius is going to delay until after Synthenis.
Okay.
Some of
Emmett.
the plating on his form has been wrenched loose and is dripping oil.
I move, I gain attention.
I'm
Nice
bleeding.
night.
But robots don't bleed. Oh my god, I'm a human!
And back my
Technically true.
That is a
These are
hit.
just normal arrows.
Futurama.
Okay. Oh, you tensioned for the second attack?
Yes.
Okay. That's a grand total of 24 damage. It's Still trucking. Anything else?
Nope, nope, nope.
Okay. Sin.
Sin is going to drop her patrol and cure Numerius. Oh, hey, that turned out really good.
Yeah, see, she can get really high on her healing, but it can also just be either low or mediocre.
Well, if that were with the
If
blessing,
that were blessed,
it would have been
36.
Oh yeah, if it was blessed.
Yeah, her minimum is 6.
Yeah, so when she rolls low, she rolls low.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really high.
If it was
right.
36 every heal, then yeah, that'd be a little bit of an issue.
Anything else from Sin?
No.
Okay.
And it would be Numerius, because he delayed.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We will. 5-foot step.
Oh, get flanking.
And smack. With the flanking that hits.
Yes. Yes, it does.
It's
And
not a 1.
Also
No,
smack.
it's-
Oh, nope.
Unfortunately, with flanking, that one doesn't hit, but...
Yeah, I kind of didn't expect that to hit, but might as well try.
Yep. Alright. With that, I assume that is the extent of your turn, then?
Yes.
With that, Lily will then take to, You don't have a deflection bonus to your AC, do you, Numerius?
I don't believe so. Let me double
Alright.
check.
You will get a nebulous 2 deflection bonus to
I
your
think
AC.
because of the construct, you would probably have natural armor and not deflection.
Yeah, I do not have deflection.
Okay, I gotta find out how much her Aegis gives.
Anything
plus
with like
1.
hides, construct like metal, or
Yep. So you
scales.
get plus 1 deflection bonus to AC for right now.
Cool.
And by right now, I mean the next 4 hours.
Hmm.
Alright. Gorstag.
Murderize.
I think we know where this is going.
Yes.
Sadly, the 12 is a 1.
Oh, the 12 is a natural one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Oh, wait.
Remind,
I crit
Remind me,
failed
Tom.
with bloody.
Oh
What
no.
happens when you crit fail with your axe?
Nothing. It's just
Okay. You said, "Oh no, I crit fail with bloody." Like, does it have a negative effect if you crit fail?
It just gushes blood everywhere.
It takes your blood.
so, Lion, remind me to, after the session today...
Second hit hit.
funny. Was that at the end of the lead? Also, you're a little quiet.
Remind me to create a Nat 1 detection macro line.
Ah, okay. It is now time for the Rage Husk. And hey, true to form, it's going for Numerius.
We're blocking the first one.
Okay.
You don't have your patrol up.
I don't need patrol up.
It just says within your patrol.
That's for the move part.
It's
She can do it to
within her
anyone.
threatened range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
First one misses.
alright.
Like its true nature, it misses the first one and he gets hit by
The second one, however, I do believe will hit.
Yep. Unless the ablation.
Oh, yes! Ablation.
Not working.
God damn it, logic.
Look, we already know ablation's not gonna fucking work. No
Maybe it
matter
would work if you stopped jinxing it every time we roll it.
Hold on. Let me try and work RNG. It will work the next time.
Also, holy shit, if both of those hit, I would be in world of fucking hurt.
Would you have been negative, your con?
It doesn't.
Vitality
How much would
Wounds
that be?
doesn't have a negative.
Right.
To put it into perspective, though, you would be at negative 12 if it did track into negatives.
And yes, that would be beyond my negative con.
Oh, so if we weren't
I
doing
think.
vitality wounds, you would have just died.
If you weren't
You're
doing
gonna have
Vitality Wounds, you probably would have died a few times over
Actually?
at this point.
No, that would be one shy of negative my con.
Well,
And besides, Breath of Life, so...
Oh yeah.
Your turn, Nihilus.
Yay, Fury
Put
off,
it out of its
Fury
misery.
on, enhanced swing. I rolled a fucking 1. All right, let's move it over. Emmett.
Damn it!
10 feet! Tension!
Choo choo!
Snipe
Guys,
in
it
the
has-
face!
It has 6 hit points left. Thank God one of you has taken it down.
Hey,
Look,
you don't
And
have to
for
keep
next-
turning off Fury of Vivus and turning it back on.
Yeah, he does, because it needs to track the
Yeah.
Fury of Vivus usage.
I need to
You
check
can
my.
just
just
hit
keep
it on
clicking.
again.
Yeah,
It won't. Just okay.
it
Hold
doesn't.
on.
It doesn't do it additively. It replaces the
Okay.
value.
Then I will give myself that back. I was testing it. I'll give myself back
Yep.
that usage. Because I remember my old macro kept stacking itself if I kept doing that.
Yeah, no, this was designed to be, it sets a value. And with that,
No, it's off.
it will collapse to the ground, fading into it. And around you, the house will begin to crumble, revealing that it was a bit of an illusion.
Did the same thing happen when we killed the last Rage Husk?
No. But you can see now that that building is dissipating as well. And in the center of town, where the flaming arrows were, descending to the ground, is something.
Papa
I think I'll let the speaker,
Ready?
or I'll let the token speak for itself.
And the corpses now.
Is it initiative
Fine.
now? Does it know we're here?
Well, that's a damn good question.
I have a very important question, Lion.
Certainly.
How close does this resemble what little Numerius was able to see of his father as he fled?
It resembles a twisted, whorish, hellacious, nightmarish version of what you recalled. So likely very similar. It probably was a very traumatic experience, and your mind likely made it more monstrous than it normally was.
Father, you've aged a year.
As soon as Emmett sees this, is there any cover near him?
Yes, there is enough, enough actual remaining to hide behind.
He's gonna stealth and he's gonna immediately gesture like, everyone get the fuck down right now.
Are there corpses?
There's piles of ashes.
Fucking Christ. Okay. I figured maybe if the illusions went away, there might be corpses.
I'm just gonna roll this again because. Oh boy.
Alright, hold on. Let's see if I can do worse. I do have a -4.
No, this
Do we all
this
have to
is
make a will save?
This is
No.
innate personal
Oh.
to Numerius.
Well, I have a 3 stealth.
Well, Sin isn't going to be able to hide very well because as soon as she sees it, she's going to look over at Lily, say, get ablation on all of us now, and then look back at Numerius and begin to heal herself and him.
Numerius is just staring at the dragon.
If the dragon hasn't started coming over here yet, Gorsteg's going to sit and wait just to see if he has enough time to recover his rage.
You will have enough time to do it between Lily buffing everyone.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Lily,
I had your token selected.
Like, all the way back up?
No,
So
you
fun
will.
fact,
You will not be fatigued, so you will be able to rage for this coming encounter.
fun
That's what I
fact.
meant to say.
It says that I healed. I did not heal.
Hang on. No, you appear to have healed on my frame.
you had
Uh,
wounds.
You have to-
I'm aware. I meant the second healing.
Oh, huh. Yeah, it does not appear that the second one got applied.
Oh, good.
You know,
That's too
Weird.
weird.
since
Alright.
since Gorseg and us are waiting, I'm just gonna pop this.
Alright, so, with this, Lily will ablation everyone and deflecting everyone. That will burn out the rest of her spell points. However, she will say that I would rather hide back here because I'm sort of tapped out, but I can get you all close if you want.
Emmett's going to ask, Do you have to teleport us all to the same place?
It's easier, but I could try and get someone to a different place than the rest.
Hey, Sin, how much healing you got left?
I'm running on low.
Emmett is going to suggest wherever they teleport him, the party to kill this unholy demon, that Emmett be teleported to a building close by, to the highest point near it.
About you teleport all of us and you outside of town, if possible.
Niles, Emmett's gonna look at Niles. We have to kill this thing. We've summoned it. If it leaves, it will wreck. It will destroy everything nearby.
Yeah, I'm just stating that Sin's on low, and so that's an issue.
It's irrelevant. We have to go in there.
For what it's worth, Marius is just staring wide-eyed at the monstrous dragon.
Has it moved yet?
It has been shooting gouts of flame into the air, and it is, it's moved around a little bit around in the center of town.
But it doesn't seem to know we're here.
No, not yet.
Would this be the...
looks at everyone and says, "We do a short rest, recover, get out there and kick his full ass."
Would this be the projection? Would this be counted as a projection of the curse?
Yes, it very much so.
Does that mean it can leave, or it can't actually leave the site?
That's a good question. No one's quite sure.
Damn it.
The problem is it completely depends on the specific curse itself. You'd have to know the subtext of the curse that summoned it to know whether or not it could leave the confines of the cursed area. Out of character, of course.
Is it generally that if something is cursed within an area, that it cannot leave that said cursed area? Is that a general rule of curses?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Does it look like it will bleed? Does it look like it has any sort of cardiovascular system?
It does not look like it will bleed.
It's undead, isn't it?
Say,
No,
we
it
set
doesn't
up
look like...
watch. Have someone stare at dragon. If it fly off, we distract back to ground and fight tire. But for best chances, we rest.
It's undead, isn't it?
Can I make a knowledge nature check?
Nihilus, you can give me religion, and you can make a nature check if you would like. Yes,
Fucking
it is fucking undead.
Yeah, so I'm pretty useless against this damn thing.
So I will stare at it. Your vampiric strike works against undead. So does your ghost strike.
Where does it mention that? A ghost strike is
doesn't mention that it doesn't. So
as such, has no effect on undead, constructs, elementals, and other creatures immune to such things.
Okay, so immune to the fatigue, but you can still get the temporary.
No, that's ghost strike, not exhausting strike. That's the ghost strike.
But ghost strike itself fatigues.
It's considered a negative energy death effect, and as such has no effect on undead, constructs, elementals, and other creatures. Ghost strike does not affect the dragon.
Yeah, Ghost Strike as a whole does not.
Okay, I didn't know if it was specific to ghost strike, that block of text.
No, it is specific to ghost strike.
I'm going to make a knowledge nature check, and I know Ghost Strike did as well. How likely is a dragon a pissed off dragon, from what we know, to just roar around and move around like that for a few hours, or is it going to go find something to kill?
Oh, it's about to go find something to kill.
Emmett will look at Ghost Strike. We don't have time for that. It's about to leave.
Gorseg knows. Let's go.
Alright, how about Daydreamer over here? You gonna be okay with this?
Tyler, you don't have to move your token. I will move everyone's token because you're getting teleported.
Emmett will look at Numerius. Fond of a little bit of patricide?
Numerius just gives a shaky breath and nods, though he says nothing.
Alright, little to no healing, a damaged dragon on our side, and me who basically can't do any of my fun stuff.
Tyler,
Let's
are you
go!
having fun?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. So, Emmett, I know there's a chance of failure for this, and Emmett's willing to risk it to be teleported away from the party.
Okay.
So,
Man, we are not going to...
You guys can. I'm going to put a box down for you guys. You guys can arrange yourself as you want inside of that box once I've drawn it.
Would Sin have been able to arrange a combat patrol as she's being teleported?
Yes.
Oh my god, this is not
And
good.
I get to roll a fun die.
Telefrag check for me.
Yes. Okay, you're good.
Where's my box?
Your box is. You said you wanted to be on a building nearby?
Yes, somewhere that I can at least move around a little bit. Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna be over that way-ish.
Lion, I'm assuming this is the Gaiden fight.
How did you know?
Well, someone's going to die. We have little healing, so yeah, and it would not surprise me if this thing has a
Someone-
Combat
bane
check.
against Scaffold.
Someone call high or low.
Hi.
Low.
Okay.
Is that good or bad?
I have no fucking clue.
Lion, is that good or bad?
I have no fucking clue.
What was the high or low for then?
To make a
It's
decision,
Whether or not Numerius freezes up or tries to run because he's terrified, the one thing in life he's probably terrified of is his dad.
I don't
Well-
think you have a choice about running now.
Marius,
Everyone has
it
a
is you.
choice.
Yeah, if we had a choice, why do we teleport directly towards the dragon?
so good news logic. Numerius isn't running. Bad news. It's a knockdown, drag out dragon fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, except
Hell
it's a bigger
yeah.
dragon.
It's a
Holy
balls out double
shit.
dragon fight.
What? In the utter fuck, man?
Jesus.
Calm the fuck down.
I just imagine he
Hey,
just
Numerius, if you're listening closely, you hear Gorstag mutter in Draconic daddy issues.
Numerius just growls with a mouthful of his undead father's neck.
Gorstag laughs and he goes, "Don't worry, we all have them. Gorstag will help you."
Alice doesn't know if he has or not
So-
yet. He doesn't know if he likes his father yet. He has to be
Lion,
Yes,
does this thing have wounds?
it does.
Does it only have wounds?
No, it has vitality.
Those 6 points are going into wounds.
Okay.
But undead can't be fatigued.
it doesn't
they
matter.
can't.
Wound damage is inherently better than normal damage.
Yes.
It makes it die faster.
Yep, because any
Did-
crits you put into wound mean that once it hits 0 wounds, it's down
Yeah,
and out
okay.
of the fight.
Didn't you make it so that certain sizes have higher wound thresholds?
Yes.
I did?
Okay, well, let's hope we can get a lot of crits then.
Well, I mean, he still did damage to it via the constricting, so.
Yeah, he did 6 points to wounds, 7 to vitality. Or 7 plus 4 to vitality. Because I assume a 20 hits. Hopefully a 20 hits.
Well,
otherwise
20
it's-
always
Yes.
hits.
No, it's,
No, no,
it's
he's-
Oh.
unnatural.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
otherwise, my claws can do nothing except crit on a secondary attack.
Alright. Is that it for Numerius then?
Bye.
Yes.
Okay.
Gorstag, if
Gorstag.
there's ever a time to crit, man, now's the time.
No.
But damage.
Yeah, both of those are good hits.
You may want to 5-foot step so Nihilus has less to move.
I mean, I'm still gonna get hit with for moving.
The marker is not indicative of it being fatigued, just that it has wound damage on it. As a note. Alright. So Gorstag has taken his turn and spit on the dragon.
Oh boy.
The dragon's turn.
It is grappled, thankfully.
It is. However, it's going to attack Numerius. And let me go look up the grappled condition.
It's
Ah,
-2
yes.
on all attack rolls.
Grappled. That's the condition I wanted.
It's -2 on all attack rolls and combat maneuver checks, except in order to grapple or escape a grapple.
Okay.
Did he
Well.
get graped in the mouth?
Maybe.
And if he's using dexterity to attack,
Come
he takes
here,
a
kids.
-2.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
grape you in the mouth.
He is not using dexterity to attack. Nothing about this creature is dexterous.
Oh my god, he's broken.
Well,
Soon to be
Numerius,
broken.
do you want to bear the full brunt of the attack, or would you like someone else to take some attacks with you?
With who? Everyone has ablation, so consider that.
Yeah, so everyone has
Yeah, let's-
ablation, and Sin has like 2 or 3 spell points.
Let's spread it a bit.
Okay.
Hit me
Or-
with your best shot.
The bite and the 2 wings will go into you, Numerius. The claw 1 and claw 1 will go into Gorstag, and claw 2 will go into Sin.
So this is more than 3 attacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I will noted. Let's hold on. I gotta note this damage. I will put it onto them afterwards.
And out
I
of
think you would have
curiosity,
to
since
move
he's
those
attacking
there.
an ally, do I get a? No, I'm kidding.
If only
Alright.
more stag.
So
I know.
bite, wing, wing. Those are the ones into Numerius, and then I think this rolls. Oh no, it only rolls 1 claw at a time. So claw 1 into Gorstag. Oh, I think that's a natural 20.
That is.
Oh,
It is.
Oh.
That's hitting.
Guidance fight, everybody!
And that's going to. Gorstag has 15 wounds out of 13. What frame? You what, mate?
What, mate?
That's going to rip Gorstag in half.
Yes, that is going to go with those 17 to wounds. However, before anything else happens, the claw into Nihilus.
Wait, no, you said
No,
Sin.
it isn't Dennis.
Or Sin, yeah, sorry.
The was the 27 with the 11 damage. You rolled claw 3 times.
I rolled to confirm.
Oh, okay.
All right,
So
we're
now
going to-
ablations.
Yes. This is for Numerius. Bite. Wing. Wing. Oh.
Nope.
Crit claw. And last claw. All right, Gorstag. I need a
25% is so shit, mate.
It's not. Gorstag, I need a okay. Gorstag, you are staggered. You will have 1 action on your turn, but you are still up just barely.
Emmett does go before Synthesis, by the way.
Oh yes, you have the tiebreaker. Yeah. It tie breaks on alphabetical order normally, so because it just sorts, and I don't have a way of doing that.
All right, Archer, it's about the size of a barn. Do not miss the barn.
Emmett is. It does not bleed, right? It is
No, it does
undead.
not.
I'm going to use holy water arrows on this. Snipe. It's a 10, but it's an undead. It's a giant undead dragon that does not care about it. Did I hit?
I'm assuming because you're not targeting touch, you miss.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, actually, you have high ground.
that's only like
Which
what,
is an
plus
extra
2?
+2.
Unfortunately, it will still miss. However, you will get to do some of the spring holy water to it. It will get a slight reflex save to. It'll. Nope, no, I don't have the token selected. It'll fucking flub that reflex save, but you get to do the holy water damage to it. So you can roll that d6.
Sorry, someone came into my room. And because I dealt damage with an attack weapon, I actually get attention anyway.
Okay.
And then I will spend 3 tension to swift action shoot it
Hey, there's a good hit.
with another
Yep.
d6 damage.
Oh my god, bro.
And I gain,
Okay.
and then I will move 10 feet. I will do the little jig in place, and I gain 2 tension.
Okay. that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Sin.
Sin is going to uh, end her patrol and channel positive energy to everyone within 30 feet. They heal 3. And then she'll shout, "Prepare to run!"
Okay. Oh, it doesn't remove the disabled state. There you go.
Does that hit the Spectre as well?
No.
No,
Unfortunately,
Oh
it
yeah,
is
it's heal harm.
It's heal
Yep.
or harm, yeah.
It's not nearly as cool as the one in second edition.
Nihilus.
I don't know what to do. She said prepare to run, but like I don't.
Fight it.
Keep going for now.
Alright. I'm gonna be taking a hit, but alright.
It will smack you with its wing.
It has no chance of missing unless it rolled a 1.
You
Oh,
do
it did
have
roll.
ablation. It has a chance of missing.
Inflation never works.
Maybe
I would have
stop
laughed if that was.
I was actually hoping that it would work after me saying that, to be honest.
It's better to have a chance than to
Alright.
not.
Also, everyone remember that your ACs are higher. I don't know if that matters, but they are.
It's 1 point higher.
Yes.
And in
luckily,
this, it
all
won't.
of my temp HP pretty much just took that, so that's fine.
It won't because it has a 22 to hit. Synthenis has a 21 AC.
I should have a 22 AC. I don't know why her AC keeps resetting from the scaling one I put in.
Well, right now it says 20 AC.
Regardless, it would have to roll a 0 to meet your AC.
You don't have non-Euclidean dice that can roll zeros.
No.
No, it matters for its wings because its wings don't hit at the 22. They're
Yeah, no, it's wings hit for 15, but still. With
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it will always hit me unless it rolls a 1.
All right. I assume that was it for your turn.
Yep.
All right, Numerius.
So I do have a question. And
Shoot.
I don't know if you'll answer or not, but I heard mention of a Gaiden fight. Is this a Gaiden fight?
Well,
Oh no, the consequences for this are very real.
Yeah.
No, he had just talked about doing a Gaiden power fight at one point. So
Well, we have 1 mark on it. I don't know.
you just have an archer,
Yeah, but
the Bane of Dragons.
Hold on, I need
I mean,
to look at
somewhat.
something.
3 that you fire on it might be. No, not fire. It fires its element, right?
Judging by the amount of fire it has shot, yes, more than likely.
Do dragons? I can't remember. This is something I know.
Dragons
my
are
character.
not color-coded for your convenience.
No, they're not color coded for the convenience. But do they still have the element swapping? So fire is immune. If it's a fire dragon, it's vulnerable to cold.
Yes, that tends to be. There are a few that cheat it either through magic or other special cases, but yes.
Being undead and immune to cold damage.
Yeah.
yeah.
Would it be fair to assume that Numerius could have a lightning breath?
Yes, that's perfectly fine.
Fantastic.
You know, when it breathes fire, it's gonna be a fucking shit show.
Then
Hey,
this
what
is
else?
going to go immediately into its neck that is in Numerius's mouth.
Well, you're still grappling it, so
I know.
okay.
That's lightning.
The reflex save I'm about to make for it is at a comical -20. It didn't roll a nat 20. Oh god, it almost rolled a 1. That's fucking hilarious. It's taking full damage from that.
And I need to see if I have things. I do not have things yet.
Eric,
Yes.
is it possible to advancing Carnage different parts of this considering how large it is? Because, I mean, you can hit a wing, and there's a body adjacent.
For
So-
this, yeah, Axel.
Question.
Yes.
Spells by default provoke in first edition, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then 5-foot step in that direction. You would still be able to keep it grappled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you make your grapple check?
Oh, no, I did not.
Ooh.
I rolled a 2.
All right, that will just end it. It will end it notably at the end of your turn. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
I have a question. Is it
Before you get to that, I will allow you to advance in Carnage its wing and then into its body for this fight.
My question is, because of its size, are we considered flanking, or is it one size category larger that we were?
You are not considered flanking. You would have to be. Someone would have to just nebulously be on this side
Okay.
for the flanking.
5-foot step.
Okay. The 10 will unfortunately miss. However, the other one will hit.
The more important axe.
Oh, yes. Okay. It's taking a beating. All right.
Oh boy.
Which one of them will get devoured by the specter?
I don't know. We'll have to see after its breath weapon.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who wants to eat fire to the face?
I mean, arguably Emmett, but
That could be
I
arranged.
mean, just from
Yeah.
for a strategical perspective, you use the ranged attack on the one who's farther away.
Actually, I don't think it can be arranged. Yeah, you're unfortunately out of its normal range. So,
Wow,
Does it still
really?
want to?
it does want to, but right now, it's gonna do that.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a reflex save.
Yeah, you two are not in a good position.
Whew. Oh,
Oh no, Sin.
Sin will be taking full damage.
Well, good news. You might have a sorcerer soon.
A vitalist?
No, a sorcerer.
So,
With the draconic heritage, so just like his father.
Marius, you will take half damage, and the damage is 40 fire damage.
Sin, are you still up?
Wait,
No.
That,
You're not up, are you?
Are you dead?
that didn't do anything? What?
You applied 0 damage, apparently. What?
God.
All right. I will need a Fortitude save from Numerius.
For what it's worth, when he loses consciousness,
You
assuming
might not lose consciousness, which is why I
Okay.
need the Fortitude save now. You're
does.
staggered.
Come on, Sen, be staggered.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you get a
save.
Fortitude save.
Oh,
You
Yes!
are both staggered, barely holding on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emmett's turn.
Yes.
All right. Emmett will do his little dance. Gain attention. He will use his swift action attack first. With a trip arrow.
It gets fixed on other maps. Which is what makes it fucking hilarious because I keep forgetting to copy the fixed version back to your main map.
All right, but it's a trip arrow. Does that hit?
22 will hit. Unfortunately, that will not trip it.
And then he will swap to a holy water arrow.
Okay.
Okay, and then he will snipe it.
Okay.
Does it look pissed off?
It does.
Good.
Okay. I assume that was it for your turn?
Yes. Real quick, does ablation work against breath weapon attacks?
It does not.
Okay, because I know some things like that do and some things don't.
Yep. Sin. It is your
Alright.
turn.
What's its reach?
Probably 15 feet.
Yeah.
Let me check.
No, it's 15 feet because he made a claw attack at you while you were here.
Oh,
And that's 15 feet from his reach.
oh wait.
It actually
Yeah.
should have been a wing attack. And it also... actually, funnily enough, it warped space-time with its knowledge because it would not have been able to hit her at 15 feet, but her moving in for the attack of opportunity allowed
Oh.
her to be hit.
Does it have 10 feet then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good. Sin 5-foot steps back. And she will fervor herself. See healing. 5. And she's no longer staggered, right?
You are no longer staggered.
You get your other action.
She is going to exhaust herself. To gain 1 spell point, she is going to cure Numerius and Gorstag and say, "Get the fuck out of here!"
I don't think that's a good idea to roll.
Look, we were here at a very high disadvantage already fighting this thing.
Well,
Fighting
no,
this
the thing is dragons move faster than us.
Well, that'll be relevant when you start fleeing.
That's true. Dragons are faster. No point in running.
Niles. Figure out what you want to do. Do you want to run or do you want to disobey your healer?
I am at a loss of what to do.
Who is now
If
doubled
I may
over,
give
breathing
a-
heavily.
If I may give a suggestion, you are a knight of Nemeth Var. When you are in the battle, logic and all other things escape you. There is only rage and berserk. that would be my.
Matt, I
suggestion.
keep hoping for crits, but they're just not fucking happening.
No, but that was some sick fucking damage.
Yeah.
That was... Oh,
Well,
man.
this is what happens when you become a Spheres caster, everyone, and you choose enhancement sphere abilities that just make you count as large for your attacks.
Only not-
Make
Numerius.
you improved strength.
I have a question.
Hmm.
Would Numerius be able to grab and throw Synthenis as a standard action?
Yes.
Toss!
He will
If she
step
resists.
back, grab her, and throw her in this general direction.
Ow.
Okay.
Do I need to roll something?
Depends on
Sin,
how
are you
strong-
going to resist?
Seeing how she's fatigued, I don't think she really has a chance to resist this.
Well, you're
Fair enough.
exhausted, right? Not just fatigued?
Am I exhausted?
You said exhausted. You said
I
you
said
exhausted.
you
yourself to
You
use that.
fatigued yourself while you had wound damage, which you upgraded the fatigued condition to exhausted.
Mhm.
Yes.
I was just using that as flavor, but I'm okay with that being actually a thing.
All right. So,
For what it's worth, Numerius is going to aim away from trees and rocks, but
And aim close to the ground so she doesn't die from impact.
yeah.
Because fall damage does wound damage in this.
He's looking to throw her horizontally, not vertically. And
okay.
just get her away.
Roll me a CMB check then. Okay. Hang on. Pick a square in there, and then I will roll some random shenanigans.
You know, I think this one has the least amount of what looks like could hurt. So I'm gonna go with that.
I mean, you could just throw like over here. But, like,
That's road.
yeah, but those are like old broken trees and shit.
Lion, I have a question.
10, that is where you will end up.
No damage?
2 points of damage.
Please tell me that
And-
just knocks you unconscious.
Numerius will say aloud in common, Lily, get her out. And then polymorph into a large construct, drawing his Moonsteel Great or Longsword.
Okay. Gorstag.
It's sad. You're just so much more efficient as the construct.
Yeah, you really are just more efficient as the construct.
I'm aware of that, and I had specifically asked Lion
So-
things that he was lacking in details on, and then I had someone call a die result.
Gorstag's gonna be talking. And he's just gonna be talking calmly. And he's gonna say, so first you tried to kill me. And then you tried to kill my friends. You fucking die!
Damn it!
Is he letting the axe take a little bit more control of his brain?
He is.
And I'm still just kind of hoping for that 20, but you haven't rolled it yet. What the fuck is going on?
Eric, do I get to roll any extra?
Well, what I will need to inform you of is the fact that while the axe is taking over, you have a 11 through 20 crit range. However, any damage you inflict, you will take half of yourself. So go ahead and
Okay.
roll those confirmation rolls.
So let's see.
Because-
That's a confirmed,
You have
and
mega,
confirmed.
mega vicious.
Everything
So
except
that's
the last
three
one.
confirmed.
confirms.
Rolling now.
Now there's the 20.
You know what? I will give you that spite attack, mostly because it's funny. All right, so let me go calculate some damage.
Kill himself?
No, he healed up, so he should.
No. I think he might have still killed himself. He crit. If any damage he does into wounds, he takes into wounds.
He takes
No.
half of it into wounds.
No, he takes half of it to his vitality.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it doesn't like if it
Okay.
goes into their wounds, it goes into his wounds.
Yeah, he won't
No.
die.
Okay, so
Well, he did just deal 99 points of damage. So he will be taking 49 points of damage himself.
He's
Is
a
that
barbarian. I
also-
think he's still up though after that.
Is that also including the attack that did not crit?
He only got the 3 attacks
Mm-hmm.
because of how Advancing Carnage works.
Yeah, so the second round of double attack, the second hit was not taken into account.
Gotcha.
so
How much
did
health?
Gorstack just explode into blood and fall over?
So, Gorstag, as you
He's still standing.
press into this creature in a horrifying onslaught, the rest of you see that his form is bathed in obsidian skin and slick with blood as it makes attack after attack after attack, hacking into the dragon. Slowly, Liam, I'm hearing myself.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll fix that.
Slowly and methodically, yes, better, hacking away at the Draconic Spectre, destroying it utterly, and it collapses to the ground. And after a moment, you feel the weight of battle upon you, all of you.
Question line.
Yes.
Does excuse me. Does Numerius know if the Moonsteel would have any effect on a creature not slain by the sword?
And
Well, it not being able to come back.
It would probably help in the process.
Then Numerius is going to, as soon as he's able, step forward and impale the dragon's skull with the sword and leave it there.
Okay. As you do so, after a moment, rising from the ground, are the specters again. They speak, and all of you hear them. And the words they simply say are, "We are at rest, but this conflict is not over. You will know soon enough."
Numerius will point to the corpse of the dragon and say, "Is that real?"
I'm glad Nihilus cares about Sin.
Stand up.
The voice that begins hold on.
Nihilus does care a bit about you guys, but he still will talk shit about you.
The voice will say, "It is merely a specter of what befell this town."
Eric, look at it.
I know. I know.
The fuck?
Damn it. So Gorsteg passes out and just falls right over.
Okay, hold on. I need to go check something.
Never mind. I'll stop typing.
Gorsteg is unconscious.
Is he
Damn it.
bleeding?
Oh yeah.
Well,
He is down to 5 wounds.
Is he losing wounds?
No.
I don't know.
Good.
At this point, he does not appear to be losing wounds. He is simply passed out from the exhaustion and fatigue.
I'm sure Gorsteg might have probably left the axe buried inside of the dragon.
As soon as he sees that
Someone might need to
Gorstag,
get that axe.
as soon as he sees that Gorstag isn't in risk or at risk of immediately dying, Numerius is going to run over towards Sin.
Thank you.
well, that one's not. You know, you rest, buddy. You
With
rest.
some help, she'll be able to stand, albeit shakily. She's very unsteady and completely exhausted.
Numerius will look downwards and tap his cheek and just say, "Come on, I deserve it."
I did help you up.
I'll pay you back, though.
Why would you do that? I just wanted you to be safe.
I know.
Numerius turns to Lily and just says, "Thank you." And he himself will just walk over and help her stand.
She's pretty happy with the armor on.
I mean, Numerius isn't weak. And with 2 people, I think she could manage fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's one disconcerting thing about all this. Is that thing was nowhere near as strong as the thing that actually exists.
And I have a great many more questions about my early life.
So, what's the next plan here? Do we just rest in town, or are we just going to head back?
Is
After-
there anywhere that is still remotely accessible that Numerius could think of there being resources?
Now that whatever strange magic was going on here has faded, you do see that there are a few cellars and storehouses that could be raided for supplies, as well. The mage house has a cellar, and your house has a cellar that could be accessed.
How long was this place abandoned for?
Just over a century.
Yeah, over 100 years.
Well,
It was
food and
abandoned for
water's out, but there might be other supplies that we can get.
Indeed. Could you go ahead and fetch the guardsman in the cart?
Emmett looks towards him. Emmett will, but on his way back, he'll say, as much as it pains me to say this, we have to keep going and fix the other issues. Regardless of how emotionally hurt you guys are by this situation, thousands of people are going to die if we do not fix the other problems.
That is what keeps me going.
I'm not really
Resting in-
emotionally hurt right now.
Falls over. It's okay to fall unconscious without actually being.
Numerius will nod to Lily and, as best he can, gesture for somewhere mildly comfortable for Synthenis to sit down.
We could always just, set up camp near that water by
Uh,
town.
Before Lily does that, she will move over to Gorstag, who is passed out on the ground, and will begin casting a spell to teleport him.
Don't worry,
towards the rest
he'll
of the
just
group.
sleep it off.
She accidentally teleports him a little too high. Gorstag just. Whoomp.
It's like Morrowind. The guy falls down and just dies from the crash.
Yeah, the what is that? The levitation mage?
No, Axel, I was making a joke more about Gorstag waking up next to a dragon and being like, "Oh God, what did I do?"
With Gorstag over here, is Sin able to tell he's okay? Well,
He
not
is.
dying.
He is not dying. He is exhausted.
Is my skin still obsidian?
No.
You
That would be
inherited-
cool if it left like a trace.
You inherited the racial ability. World
Is
Dwarves.
is Gorstag still conscious?
Yes.
Emmett will slip something into his bag, just as a hopefully that will stop that from happening again.
And Sin, once she realizes he's okay, she's gonna say, I think I'm gonna sleep. Ugh. And then she kind of goes limp in whoever's arms she's in.
Probably Numerius's. Alright.
And
Setting
if
up camp
she's
in town, then.
if she's still in her human form, Numerius will set her down gently and find a spot to set up a bedroll or tent or whatnot and get her out of her plate mail.
Emmett will be like,
Nihilus. Go on.
sorry, Emmett will throw one of his 3 camping bags at them, which contains a pavilion tent, 3 bedrolls, 12 torches, and some trails rations.
Ooh, camping in style.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Nihilus did also suggest perhaps maybe setting up camp near that water source would probably be a good idea.
You got quiet.
Fair enough.
I said setting up camp near the water source might be a good idea.
Okay.
Because it didn't look tainted at all, so.
Nope. It's flowing, moving water.
There are corpses in it though.
I can
Oh.
get rid of those. Hold on, I gotta go clear some corpses out.
So, like, set up
How many
camp
corpses
around.
are in the water?
You can clear them out. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, I was only meant to click twice, but I clicked it 3 times.
Setting up camp around here.
Yep.
Everyone, if they are over here, they will see me
Oh.
raise the undead out of the water and tell them, go over there and just rest on the ground.
No, as soon as that stop that they're out of the pool, each one of them will have an arrow firmly placed into their skull.
That works. They only would have stayed around for about 4 hours, so it's fine.
4 hours is 4 hours too long. Raising someone's body's an affront to their soul and to the gods.
Oh, no, I don't use their soul. They're soulless. There's a difference. Their soul remains intact and goes wherever they want. I just fill it with a dummy soul, essentially. Other than that, I don't particularly care about it.
Well,
As for all, it was the sword that gave me this power anyway, so I would imagine Nemeth Var is pretty okay with it.
as you begin to nestle in to rest for the evening, you can have the guards search about, and they will find some various sundries and a stockpile of gold that they can begin to cart back to the village, or to Oakhurst if you wish.
Anything of direct
Marius
use.
will also assist them, lending some familiarity to the town. Though to them, he will not explain how he knows this.
And what were you going to ask, Liam?
Anything of use to us in our continued journey, or is it just kind of stuff that will be useful to the town?
That is stuff that will be useful to the town. And as you all begin to rest for the evening, as you're settling in, the half of you already, or 2/3 of you, or 1/3 of you,
2/5 of you.
is one, motherfuckers. As
4/12.
1/3 of you are already passed out. That's
8:30
right.
second.
Oh my god.
There are 6 of us, so it would be 1/3. I don't know.
Yes. 2 of you are already fucking passed out.
So 3/4.
Hold on.
You all lose a level.
Well, this is nice losing a level and advancing back to level 4.
Hey, look.
Love you,
Tyler
Eric.
started it. I just finished it.
2 of you are already passed out. And Numerius, as you are getting ready for your own rest, you are unfortunately visited by one last spirit this evening.
Oh no.
Marius.
It is the ghost of bosses past.
Oh my
As you're
eyes.
beginning to get ready to sleep, you are startled by an all too realistic visage of a former boss of yours, Alexander. He looks a little flickery and distant, and he looks around a little before setting his sight upon you, Numerius.
Numerius is going to immediately draw his blade, and then just, like, after a moment or two, just be like, "You're not a ghost, are you?"
After a few seconds of saying things and his voice not coming out, he reaches outside of what appears to be frame, smacks something, and will say, "Oh, yeah, that's better. No, I'm not a ghost. That's effectively what was going on before he started talking." No,
Numerius will lower his sword and sigh and say, "I never get that lucky."
right. Moving on. We have a slight complication.
Those are never good.
No. And I have been told I have a penchant for underselling things. Jeremiah Orn arrived in town almost a month, or a bit ahead of schedule. Almost a month ahead of schedule, in fact, and has brought with him two things. Numerous charges that he is levying against my father, which I normally could care less about, and a signed confession that he is turning himself in on the grounds that those claims are investigated and persecuted, with the confession that he himself orchestrated the break-in at the Special Projects Division.
What the what?
This would normally be, I think, a win if it weren't for the fact that he doesn't have the mask that was stolen, and his wife is nowhere to be seen.
And I think someone may be throwing the blame on him to get away with it.
Oh, I am 100% certain of that. I did some basic detections, and he's under the effects of a powerful spell. You need to be careful. She might be coming after you.
Another thing to add to our list of problems. Fantastic. Alexander, I don't believe I ever asked. You have something of the King's ear, yes?
From time to time, yes.
I don't suppose you could persuade him to send assistance to Oakhurst.
He says there is some assistance.
I had asked formally, but the latter I got in return to a previous statement was dismissive at best. And I fear without reinforcements, the city will fall to an orcish horde. On top of all of the other concerns.
I will see what I can do, but I don't believe they could be there in any appreciable time. But I will do what I can.
Fantastic. And Numerius will call over Emmett and basically ask that he forward potentially relevant information from the notes we recovered here. Because there may be another player in this if it is related.
And he will accept that, but before he does, he will also warn of one thing. The mask she stole renders her nearly imperceptible. You are dealing with a dangerous foe, though once she makes her presence known through hostile actions, you will be able to perceive her in full. But be on guard, she might try and single one of you out.
Fantastic. I don't suppose you have any ideas what to counter this, if it can be?
We have not discovered a method of doing so just yet.
Of course.
With that, the notes can be transferred over, and you all will be able to perform an actual arrest.
And from this point on, Numerius will suggest that as uncomfortable as it may be to some, no one is alone for any appreciable amount of time. Namely, less than a minute.
My pupper is barking. One moment.
And it will suggest that he might be the perfect buddy for less savory actions, as he can basically turn off most of his perceptions at will, while still keeping all of the other ones completely functional.
And there are a couple of bodies around. I'll never be really alone.
That doesn't matter. Numerius wants, like, no fewer than a group of 2 of us.
All right. Well.
All right then, Emmett, you have Lily. I take Gorstag, and Synthenis is with Numerius. Glad we got that settled.
Emmett goes, actually, that was what I was going to suggest.
Did we put the 2 unconscious people by each other?
I imagine so.
So anyone trying to separate Gorstag away from Sin will notice that in his knocked out state, he has grabbed onto her hand, and trying to remove his hand is damn near impossible.
And then her hand
I
shrivels
use
up and
sever.
dies from lack of circulation.
I use sever line. No.
All right.
So he refuses to let go of her hand, even while passed out.
So,
Gotta figure out how to make those things permanent.
as a note, this will be the end of the session. I'm going to quickly, ahead of time, I'm going to apply healing to all of the tokens that are... Gorstag is the only other one. Gorstag, I will apply a Night's Rest to you.
Die!
However, at this point, it is just you can go ahead and full restore all of yourself because you will have more than a day between yourselves and your next stop.
That's fine. All my rest did was really just get my resources back up.
I was not wounded at all.
I
I'm
wasn't
still
wounded
having
either.
the token on me.
Use full restore.
I did.
All of my
You did?
damage was taken
Oh,
to
yeah.
10 HP.
Hold on. I will fix that.
So that was an interesting fight.
Yeah, if that had been the
Alright.
actual dragon, we would have lost that.
Actually, that is completely debatable. Sometimes nightmare versions of things can be less or more powerful depending on the person's perceptions. And seeing as the
Well-
curse was created from the perceptions of a bunch of burning villagers, that was probably scarier than what it would actually be.
I mean, to be honest, the Spectre did say that a harder challenge or challenges will await us. More powerful than that, so...
Yeah, but
Spectre kind of confirmed that that's not all that powerful.
Alright. So,
Live?
if anyone else, before we get into that, if
Okay.
anyone else has, or if anyone has to take off, now is the time to do so.
level
I have
5?
made, no.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I figured.
I have made the notes available in the investigation folder. Let me go. They are labeled Raymond's Journal and Did I fucking name it Matthias's letter?
You might have.
I didn't name it Matthias' letter. I'm gonna fix that quick. Journal. Oh, you can't be modified because I have the file open.
It's fine.
That makes sense.
Next
Yeah.
time, I will
That
be
has been
able
fixed.
to hopefully reanimate
Yep.
for a fight.
All right. So, those are all of those order of businesses. Yes, Axel.
In the bit of downtime that we'll have in the ruins, I don't suppose Numerius or anyone that he would ask would be able to determine a victor in the squabble between the dragon and specifically the mage.
Someone roll me a d20.
Wait, hold on.
Uh,
What is their question, real quick?
Trying to
Numerius
figure out
wants to
who
try to
won.
figure out who won.
Okay. Spending some time, looking around and stuff like that.
Glad I got the 17.
The fun answer is, you don't think either side won.
That's potentially good, and also potentially horrible.
I mean, from what it sounds like, is Matthias isn't technically, from what I read, at least my perception of it, he isn't exactly evil. he just is working for a group.
He could either be lawful neutral or maybe even lawful evil. So.
He's
The
also
reason-
not human.
He's also not
Yeah.
human, that's true.
He's distinctly not human. Might be a dragon, maybe.
Actually, no, he's not because he made mention of the Dawnstone not working for him, but working
We
for
don't
Vale.
know if it's it
Well-
only works for dragons. We don't know if it only works for specific dragons and their kin. We don't know if it
So-
works for specific entities and their kin.
Hold on, before
I
we
actually
continue
have
any
an answer to
further.
that.
Before we
Wait.
continue any further,
Mhm.
thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Pathfinder 2E playtest, second episode.
Yep.
With more roleplay.
Dick farts.